Hello, everybody, and welcome to night 2, the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, presented by
Fanatics app.
And there it is. Fantastic. We got a lot to do. We're live at the Xfinity Studio. Bo Wulf, Fran Duffy, and EJ Smith. Very exciting. After Makai Lemon became the newest Eagle last night, the Eagles now set with 3 picks on day 2, including 1 in the second, 2 in the third. We're going to hear from Makai Lemon. You were there, EJ. How's everybody feeling about night 2?
I'm excited. Night 2 is one of my favorite. Look.
It's at least one of your 3 favorite days.
All 3 days have their specific charm. And I think that teams that have the most amount of the most amount of day 2 picks, it's usually the teams that you say like win the draft more often than not. And so the fact that the Eagles right now have 3 selections, that's exciting. We'll see what they do.
Well, how do you feel about day 2, EJ?
I enjoy all days of the draft. Right. I enjoy all days of the draft. I enjoy day 2 from a reporter's perspective because you get to hear from the first round pick more often than not. We heard from Makai Lemon, which I enjoyed. It was good to see him, good to meet him and see his family and kind of hear from him. I enjoy that aspect, and then that gives you some momentum going into the second round and the third round of the draft. So I enjoy day 2.
All right, we are going to get into all the players that we think could be possibilities here for the Eagles on day 2, the positions, but also just is there somebody who could fall, all of that stuff, how we expect the early part of round 2 to break down. But let's start with Makai Lemon here, because in a little bit we're going to hear from him. Having had a chance to digest it all, Fran, where do you stand on the Eagles moving up 3 spots, trading 2 fourth-round picks for Makai Lemon to add to this offense?
Yeah, the way that I've kind of, after sleeping on it and kind of, letting it stir over the course of the morning, I think where I've landed is that this was a player that throughout the course of the process was a little bit of a slow burn for me, an easy player to like, but a little bit of a hard one for me to fall in love with. But the reservations I had, it was more by where I landed on it, I would say like post-combine, was, okay, if he goes to a system where he is going to often be put in motion, he's going to be protected off the line of scrimmage, lots of stacks and bunches, and he doesn't have to be the guy in the offense. If he goes to the Miami Dolphins and he's the immediate wide receiver 1, and, maybe it's a little more static with how they use him, that scares me, right? But if he comes to this offense where you already have Devontae Smith and you're going to be able to run the football and you're going to keep him in motion, you're going to do all these things that we expect Sean Mannion to bring to the offense, I feel really good about it. And I would have felt that way if he went to the Rams. I would have felt that way if he went to the Niners. You go down the list. If he went to the Vikings, I would have liked that. So the fact that he landed in this situation, I'm good with it. And to me, I think that's how you can maximize his ultimate upside.
How about you, EJ?
Yeah, the thing that started to come front of mind for me as I drove home from the Jefferson Health Complex last night.
Are you getting paid by them? Because you're really hitting that one hard.
I'm trying to burn it in my brain.
Right.
Yes, trying to have the repetition so I don't say no.
The Eagles complex. It's fine.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't know. You know what? I think it's fine to say what it is. I'm trying to
whatever you want.
Get it committed to memory. As I was driving home from the Eagles complex last night, the thing that came front of mind for me is the strengths of Makai Lemon don't necessarily align with the way the Eagles played offense last season.
Oh. Yeah.
But they align with the way that we expect the Eagles offense to look next year. And I think, this is another step toward what the Eagles offense has to do in terms of evolution, and frankly, what Jalen Hurts has to do in terms of evolution. Makai Lemon is a player that finds a soft spots in zones. He works well over the middle of the field. He works well, it seems, on the outside of the numbers as well, but he is not the type of player that you want to line up and say, go win your matchup.
Yeah.
He is the type of player that you want to be creative with, and his strengths really do, if you can be creative with him, complement what you can do with a player like that. He is reliable with his hands. He's good after the catch. He's got a physicality. I think all of the things that the Eagles like about him are valid. I think that they are just going to have to use him differently than we've seen them use a receiver. So it's a projection for that reason.
He is a player who you need to have a plan for.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just, as you have said, just go line up and win. He has to be a part of the way that you are designing the offense and getting him in, advantageous situations. And we said it last night, it is now fully on board. There better be a lot of motion in this offense, and I think it's a good indication that this offense is going to look a lot different than we have seen this Eagles offense look in the past.
And by the way, he is not hey, go line up outside the numbers and run a fade and go win down the field. That is not his game. His game is work in the middle of the field, working traffic, finding soft spots in zone coverage. So, I think there was a stat from Dane Brugler, 70% of his catches came between the hashes. And it's all right, Jalen, like,
Yeah.
time to attack the middle of the field, right? To me, like,
And this
that's
is not
gonna
a
be big
good or
part of it.
bad thing about Jalen. It is just the numbers tell you that he is towards the very bottom of the league in throwing the ball over the middle of the field, and that needs to change in this offense.
If you are swapping out A.J. Brown for Makai Lemon, I know that is like reductive, but it is honestly the way that it's going to look on the depth chart by the time the season comes around. You no longer have like the man beating receiver that you had in A.J. Brown. You don't have the player that, it's like A.J.'s down there somewhere. You don't have that player anymore. Honestly, the Eagles are doubling down on zone beating receivers now with Devontae Smith and Makai Lemon. Obviously, Devontae can win against man as well. Devontae's a very good receiver, but it is interesting, like a stylistic, building this offense in the vision of Sean Mannion. I don't know if you saw the clip of Howie making the call and announcing it to the room, but the look that him and Sean Mannion had for a moment there, I don't know if you noticed that, but it does seem like this is a Sean Mannion inspired pick, just in the sense of like what the offense will look like next year, and it is a step toward the evolution that I think is needed for them.
Now, I think it is easy to get caught up when analyzing draft picks in ascribing like full intentionality to the selection, as if the Eagles entered this draft and were like, Makai Lemon is the guy we want to pair with Devontae and Dontavian Wicks, and that's how we want them all to look. That's the guy that they could get. You know what I mean? Like, it is possible that they would have preferred Jordan Tyson, who went much earlier, or it's possible they would have preferred Kayden Proctor, whatever it is. This is a guy who, you know, as they stacked the board, was the last best player available.
Yeah.
They have a plan for him, but it's not as simple as saying, you know, they were drawing, you know, Sean Mannion was drawing up the concepts, and he had Makai Lemon in mind all along.
Right.
Yeah. I think I should note from Howie Roseman's press conference. So they said they had 15 players. Yeah. And there was basically a tier break after those 15. And those 15 players were the players they were willing to move up in order to get in the draft. He said that he expected there to be more action in that range of the draft, but it kind of like that range ended up being a little bit later than they expected. And Makai Lemon was the final player in that top 15 that they had on their board that they were willing to move up for, which is why they made the move.
Could be a fun exercise to try and us try and figure out who are the 15.
I think I could do it right. I bet we could do it right now.
Take the four. So it would be 5 names that wouldn't be that wouldn't
right.
Be
who are the names who were not on that list?
Right.
Caleb Banks.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson.
Probably. Maybe.
Yeah.
Malachi Lawrence.
Well,
no, wait, he went after. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
I would say.
Let's see.
Blake Miller.
I would say Blake Miller.
I think Blake Miller.
I think that's correct.
Honestly? Oh, no, sorry. We're doing 15. Never mind. I was going to say Monroe Freeling. I think that's a conversation we can save for later.
Yeah, I don't believe the Eagles were in love with Monroe Freeling. I think if they were, they would have traded up.
Yeah, I mean, he went a pick before they could. A pick before they moved up.
Yeah.
So I think
I would feel pretty strongly about saying that they had Lemon higher on their board than Freeling.
I would agree with that.
Delane. Would you have seen the trade up for Delane?
No.
I think they would have had him in the top 15.
Right.
I don't know. I could see him being.
I think so.
Could Tyson have been a medical red flag and not on their board for that reason?
I doubt that.
Okay.
I think it's possible, like, they wouldn't have used a pick on Ioane or Sadiq just for position.
Right. Yeah, trade up for one of those guys.
Yeah.
Do you not even include Mendoza because you already know, like, all right, 1-1.
Yeah,
that's what's done. Like, all right, so
you know what? That's a good
one.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's how they do it. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they have everybody on the board.
Yep. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you this is my list of the list
of
the
15
off of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they said they had 23 players who they would have been willing to take at 23. Right. So I'm sure that includes Mendoza.
By the way, I think that thought process goes all the way back to 2014.
Yep.
And the Marcus Smith draft. Like that, to me, like this, the whole thought process of we are going in. If we are picking at 31, then we have to have a list of 31. If we're picking 19, we better have a list of 19. And this is our order. And if we get stuck at 19, this is who we're taking. I think it all stems from that draft.
Howie did say that they had a few picks past 23 as well, that if they were willing to have an idea of what they would be willing to do in a trade back, how far they would be willing to trade down. And then I just, as we're talking about the aftermath stuff that we didn't cover on the show, obviously Makai Lemon was on the phone with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Yeah, on the phone with the Pittsburgh Steelers when the Eagles traded up to get him. I said it earlier last night, like, Howie Roseman's trade was obviously very warranted because the Steelers were kind of already taking their victory lap that they had gotten him. And then, Howie swooped in to get over them. And, I think that, we've talked before about the Eagles. They go through all these different scenarios. They play out all these scenarios and simulations for how the draft might play out. And my guess is that they viewed the Rams and the Jets as the two potential landing spots for Makai Lemon. And once he got past the Jets, they were aggressive, and they knew that the Steelers are going to be that next team that could be a landing spot for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's good process.
Yeah.
You can argue about you're probably overpaying a little bit based on the trade value charts. I think we can give Howie some time to see if he recoups that as the weekend goes on. This is him. This is his MO. The player himself, might not be considered a number one caliber wide receiver and might not be a guy who goes 20 in every draft. But the process of moving up for a player who is the consensus top player on the board at a position of value, that is good process. And we'll see how it works out. I think it's an interesting one to follow.
The clip was funny. I mean, when Makai Lemon is like, he's on the phone with the Steelers, he's like, why is Philly calling me? He's asking the Steelers, and they're probably like, we don't know.
Stay on the phone.
How mad is Andy Weidel, man? You must have been so mad.
Well, I was listening to our good friends, Sheil Papati and Zach Berman this morning, and Sheil brought up the idea, like, does Andy Weidel, the Steelers, know that the Eagles have a rule that they're not they're not drafting a guy unless he answers the phone? It's like, no, don't pick that up. Don't answer that call.
I think it's the other way. I think there's some reporting in Dallas that Pittsburgh thought Dallas was picking, and then they found out who they were picking, and then Dallas calls the Eagles and is like, "Hey, you guys want to come get Lemon?"
From what I gather, they changed from 10-minute to 8-minute clock. Some teams were caught it was a little thrown off last night by the.
Howie was very into that in the beginning of the press conference last night. He's like, "Hey, how much earlier did we finish?"
Yeah, he was very curious about that. Yeah, and was happy with the change. I don't know if everybody will be happy, but he was happy.
I mean, the writers.
That's a skill issue, right? It's like if you feel like
the writers, big one for us.
If you're Cocaine Howie, you want to be on a playing field where everybody has to move as quickly as you're thinking.
I was disappointed you didn't do Jared Roseman or Jared Jones there, where hey, Howie, you want to come up and get Makai Lemon, man?
All right, let's take our first break here on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show. On the other side, we're going to bring you Makai Lemon's introductory press conference. Great cinematography.
I don't know about that.
By EJ Smith making it happen. Very exciting
Shout
stuff.
out to Brenna. Yeah.
Stay with us on the PHLY Draft Show, presented by our good friends at Ashley. Stay tuned. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi, and what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 whole years? That is the Xfinity's 5-year price guarantee. So much can change in 5 years. Makai Lemon, drafted last night. 5 years from now, he's going to be coming off the final year of his rookie deal. Who knows what kind of career he's going to have? You're probably going to be following that career on Xfinity Wi-Fi the whole time. Because what does Xfinity bring? All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense that lets you stream the game even when the whole family is online. So lock in your price today and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Tell them PHLY sent you. Lock in those 5 years. Eagles drafted someone they hope is a game changer last night in Makai Lemon. And you know what you can do this weekend? How about you draft a game changer for your mouth? Okay? Let's get a little Gelati Sunday going with Rita's, because it is a game changer and it is officially arrived. And yeah, this thing is delicious. Why settle for one flavor when you can have everything? With the Rita's Gelati Sundae, you're getting layers of their classic Italian ice, that rich, creamy frozen custard, and then topping it off with, well, whatever you're in the mood for. Full customization. Mix, match, build your own masterpiece. Every cup is different and every combo hits. So if you've been looking for an excuse to hit Rita's, this is it. Stop by your local Rita's today and build your own Gelati Sundae exactly how you want it. And don't forget to download the Rita's app, because you can find your nearest location, order ahead, and when you sign up, you'll get a free small ice plus earn rewards all season long. Treat yourself to a scoop of happiness today. Be cool. Go to Rita's.
How everybody doing? Good? Start off.
What was today like for you? Did you fly in today from California?
Yeah, I flew in from Pittsburgh from the draft. Yeah, so it was about an hour flight. Just getting over here, meeting all the coaches, just having, conversation, touring the facility, just getting to know my future home.
Can you describe kind of like what it was like? You know, you get the call from the Steelers, and then all of a sudden the Eagles are calling you. Like what that whole experience was like?
Yeah, it was a shocker, really. Getting the call and then having the Eagles, call me at the same time. But I feel like it was just all a blessing. I landed, where I needed to be, and I couldn't, ask for, a better team, to be here. So, I'm super excited.
Have you heard from any of the players, some of your new teammates yet?
I definitely, Jalen Hurts, texting me, just reaching out, just congratulating me, and just letting them know, like, yeah, I'm ready to get to work.
Are you the kind of receiver who wants to spend as much time with the quarterback as you can?
Yeah, 100%. Just if me and him are on the same connection, just, helps the team. So, anyways, I can get a better connection with him, just learn from him, such a great person on and off the field. So, I'm willing to do that.
What makes you excited about playing in this offense from what you know about the personnel that they have and the guys right here in the system?
Yeah, definitely. It's a winning program, so I'm excited for that. And just add a mentality that I have, to this whole team. Just the type of mentality they have, just playing for one another, just being selflessness. And then, if I add that to the offense, it's only gonna make the team better.
Makai, that physical element to your game, where does that mentality come from, and can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I feel like I had it in me before I even, realized it. And then just growing up, older and older, just grew even stronger. And then just playing the game with so much heart and passion, just taking it so serious. And then when I step onto the field, just try to dominate. This is the game I love, so I don't cherish any time that I step on the field.
Was there anything that in your youth that made you tough? That was something that both Howie and Nick emphasized yesterday when we talked about.
I don't think there's one specific moment. I feel like there was all the moments, combined together. Just working hard for everything that I have. Nothing was given to me. So just keeping my head down, working hard. I had to push through, all the trials and tribulations. Just made me who the person and player I am today.
What does it take to be a receiver who might be a little undersized but not play like him?
I think it's just the mentality and the heart that you play with. The body type, you can get fooled by that. But, your heart and your mentality that you approach to the game can take you a lot farther than, just your height and your size.
Makai, starting your NFL career, I want to ask you about the start of your college career. You had some patience at the beginning, playing receiver, trying a little corner. What was the patience like in working through, that journey for you?
Made me who the man I am today. Not just, the player, but the man, just working hard, having to, like I said, just having to fight through, all the trials that are going to come up in the road. And then, just a perseverance, and then just waiting for the opportunity. And then that just made me, ready for anything that comes my way.
On the call, Howell discussed the walk you guys took during your visit. What's your memory of that walk and the conversation you guys had?
Yeah, it was a great walk, definitely. Just to get to know him more, for him to get to know me, just the type of player that I am, the type of person I am, just knowing that, I would love, to be a part of this organization. So I'm glad that I ended up here.
You have some baseball genes in your family, obviously, right? A couple uncles that played at a high level.
Yes, sir.
Play any baseball? Did you ever consider playing baseball or football?
Yeah, I played 1 year, just try it out. But I never really fell in love with baseball. Really, it was just football, a little bit of basketball. But I did try out baseball, but that wasn't really my thing.
What's the allure of football? What do you like about it?
Just the, how you can compete at a high level. Then just the, how you can just, like a team game. I feel like there's no other sport, that you got to play as a team, play for your brother right next to you. So I think just the competitiveness and the togetherness, I think those are the two main things, really.
Do you anticipate being a part of a return game in the NFL?
Really, whatever the coaches and the team needs me to do, whether it's special teams, receiver, whatever they want me to do. Just doing it at my best ability, doing it at a high level, each and every day.
What receivers do you kind of model your game after? Was there anybody in particular you looked up to?
Yeah, there was a couple. I feel like I gravitated more towards receivers like my body size, the type that they bring with. So I think, whoever, kind of plays with that, that greediness, that toughness, that selflessness, I think that's what I'm gravitating towards too.
Any specific guys who fit that?
I'd definitely say, like a Jamar Chase type of guy, but just being on the Eagles and then just hearing about the type of receivers that they have in the room. All the guys in the receiver room, that's what they play with. That's the type of mentality that the head coach preaches on to the guys. So really everybody, really.
As a follow-up to that, you mentioned last night learning from Devontae Smith. How do you think you guys complement each other?
I feel like we complement each other well. He could do a little bit of everything. So I didn't my game, my versatility. Playing inside, outside, wherever they need me to do. Blocking. Whatever they need me to do. I feel like it's gonna fit well.
You mentioned that you feel like you take the game seriously. Where do you feel like that intensity kind of comes from, and at what point did you start to really approach the game that way?
Yeah, I feel like that kind of graduate, moved into me just having a love for the game, and then say like I got hurt one time, and then just knowing me, I feel like you don't really realize like what you got until it's taken away from you. So just knowing that, and then just creating that love and that seriousness for the game, just taking it serious. I feel like going through those trials definitely helped me realize that.
The Iowa game is discussed often with you. What about that game in particular showcased who you are?
I think just me being ready for the opportunities, and then just being ready and capitalizing for the team when they need me to. Just being patient, and whenever it presents itself, just being ready so I can help the team in any way I can.
Going back to your first year at Southern Cal, how did you end up playing cornerback?
There was guys down at cornerback, a lot of guys getting hurt. They're real slim, and then there was many receivers in front of me. So I took it upon myself. They asked me if I would like to play corner. I took it without no hesitation. Any way I can to step on the field, impact the team in a positive way. I'm doing that, and I'm doing a smile on my face, and I feel like it helped me as a person, as a player. Going to the defense, having to switch my mind, learn new techniques. So I feel like it was only for the better.
Had you played corner in high school or any time before that?
Yeah, I did play corner in high school. They seen I was an athlete, knew I seen I was real fluent. So I feel like it was a smooth transition for me.
How was back to that Iowa game? Is that something that came up when you met with Nick and Howie the Eagles, and even maybe other teams?
Definitely, I feel like that's one game that they definitely bring up when I'm talking to them. But I feel like really any game showcases my talent for sure. But that was one game that definitely rings bells.
On that visit, what else did you learn about Philly, about the organization? Did you meet anyone here, whether it was future teammates, coaches, and whatnot, or see the city at all?
I feel like one thing that stood out just talking to the head coach, just the type of mentality that he preaches to the whole team, just having that togetherness, the selflessness. I feel like those are two main things that are going to take a team far. And when you're preaching that from one of the guys like him, that's going to definitely take you far in the season and get you what every team desires to get.
There you have it. Makai Lemon, the newest Eagle. That was fun
from him. Yeah. I was gonna say honestly, he's a little bit bigger than I was expecting him to be.
Okay.
Based off of just the measurables. He looked a little bit bigger than I would have thought.
You got a good spot there.
Shout out to Brenna. Yeah, I got a good spot, but Brenna did a good job cropping it. Because I shot it wide, but it's like blank canvas for a good producer, and thankfully we've got a couple of those here.
Yeah.
Better to be too wide than too tight. You can't push out.
These are all things I'm learning now. Yeah.
Great job by you.
Yeah.
Good stuff. What is the we're 5 minutes away from the start of the second round here, but there's another Makai Lemon conversation you'd like to have here, EJ.
Yeah, so I think that Makai Lemon as a prospect was a good exercise for me to it was good for me to think through like the way that I felt about him before the draft, and kind of talking through this with Fran, I thought was really interesting. I thought it'd be good for the show. A lot of times you'll hear with, especially first round receiver prospects, well, he can't beat press. He can't beat press coverage. It's a big projection in the NFL. Is can you beat press? And to me, I've always used that as a benchmark. Like if he can't beat press, then I'm always going to be a little bit lower on him. But I think with the popularization of the McVay-Shanahan offenses, there's a little bit more wiggle room with a player that has attributes that really work in that system. You don't need them to beat press man as much as you maybe would have 10 years ago.
Especially the fact that not only the popularization of like the Shanahan, but also the fact that just teams are playing less press man than we've ever seen, right? Where I think the fact that it's mostly zone heavy, like, you know, that allows a player like Makai Lemon to be able to thrive a little bit at a higher rate. And I think at the end of the day, you know, like I remember a year ago at this time, everybody was looking at Seattle and saying, all right, you have Jackson Smith and Jigba, who's a slot receiver, and you just go and sign Cooper Kupp, who's also a slot receiver. How are both these guys going to coexist? They must not like JSN, you know, that kind of thing. And then JSN goes on to lead the league in receiving. I think the fact that offense reduce splits, motion, stacks, bunches, all those different things. There's lots of tools in a coach's bag now that allow you to be able to hide a player like that and allow him to thrive and do what he does best.
Yeah, like if you watch Makai Lemon against Notre Dame, it's a little bit concerning because of how much he faced press man coverage. But on the flip side, like you watch him against Iowa, and it's like this guy's one of the best players in the draft. So it's a use case thing for him. And I think the Eagles are confident that they have the right use case with this new system.
The degree to which it sounds like this offense is going to be different than the ones we've seen the past couple of years. It underscores the importance of Sean Mannion as just a main character in this new Eagles season. Yeah. And also just the importance of how good is he as a teacher, because there's a lot of stuff that they're trying to be throwing out there right now. And it's going to be incumbent upon him to get everybody not just on board, but like explain the whys, the hows, and actually implement it all.
Can they afford a slow start?
Yeah, I think they can afford a slow start.
Like Philly style.
Can everybody afford a slow start?
I mean, depends how much define start.
Right. Well,
ask me again after the schedule release.
8 games? Half of the season?
Yeah.
It's a big task.
Big task. All right. Let's pivot a little bit here and talk about what is to come tonight. Round 2. The Eagles. 3 picks, 1 in the second round, 2 in the third. How many turkeys are you putting on Howie trades down at least once tonight?
Ooh.
Oh, like 80?
I would say 85. Yeah. I'll take 81. Yeah.
Because right now they only have 2 picks on day 3.
Mm-hmm.
That was something he mentioned in the press conference too early, was that, you know, trading those 2 fourth rounders was not easy for them, especially because he always talks about the scouts and like the disappointment from the scouting team. Like, those were early picks on day 3. Those are
Scouts Day.
Yeah, exactly. Like you get to sleep on this, and like you have to have their big meeting where they pound the table for some prospects. So I do think it'll be a priority for him to get some of those 4th rounders back.
There's also a thought about this draft class, which, you know, as you have said, Fran, you've been going throughout this process at different stages being like, oof, man, this really is not a good class. Does that mean that you don't need as many day 3 picks as you might want? Does it mean that there's less of a difference between round 3 and round 5, and so you could parachute down from one of these 3rd round picks? There's an interesting, philosophical question there.
I think you can talk yourself into both angles of it. I think that there's part of me that says, trade up when you can to try. If you have players that you are higher on than anybody else, you know, be convicted in that. But obviously, if you have a situation where all these guys are leveled out, then you want more bites at the apple to say, all right, we want to make sure and just take as many stabs as we can. So I think there's a lot of ways to look at it, and it's not going to be the same in the 4th round as it is in the 6th round, as it is in the 2nd round tonight. Like it's going to change and evolve over the course of the weekend. But every step along the way, obviously, as I'm going through and, you know, stacking my first board back in the fall, the first time I do a mock draft, I feel that I'm like, man, like this, I'm putting Cardinal Tate at number 4, or, you know, then you're doing the 2-round mock draft, and I get the 2nd round, I'm like, oh, like I don't know, I'm doing all the positions with you guys over the last few weeks. So at the end of the day, not a great draft. That said, there's talent every single year, and if you were to take, you know, insert Jason Kelsey coming out of Cincinnati, and plug him into this draft class, that's not moving the needle, but you find a future Hall of Famer in the 6th round, right? So it's up to the Eagles, and it's up to all 32 teams to say, like, all right, who are the guys that have that ability to reach that ultimate upside and become a quality player for us?
Just a piece of context on the volume here. Like right now, they've got 6 picks. The last time that they made 6 or fewer picks was 2022 when they had a 5-player class in 2022. That was the Jordan Davis year. But generally, I do think the Eagles like to have more volume than that.
Yes, they've got the 22nd pick of the 2nd round tonight, and then the 4th pick of the 3rd round, and the 3rd to last pick of the 3rd round as well. If I had to guess, I would guess that first 3rd round pick is the one that maybe gets them enough to be willing to move down.
Okay.
Because the 2nd round pick, to me, we can get to the positions we'd like to see them attack, where there are short and long-term needs. But given the way that the board has sort of plotted out, I just want to see them take a player who is worth a second-round pick.
Yeah. Fair.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be, a guy who could compete to be a right tackle of the future, or the guy who's going to be your starting tight end, or a guy who could compete to start at safety. If it is a corner, that's fine. And there actually seems to be some depth at corner. I just want it to be a guy who's like, yeah, that's the guy who deserves to be a second-round pick.
Honestly, as I was looking through the list, I'm like, all right, who are the players that I think the Eagles could take in the second round at positions of need? I'm like, I don't know that I'm all that excited about a lot of these names, right? If I'm looking at offensive line, which, as we talked about, especially the tackle group, that dries up when you get to round 2.
Yeah.
I'm looking at tight end. I'm like, all right, Oscar Delp, start the run on tight ends. He'd be the guy I'd probably started on. All right, you sell me him with the 22nd pick in the second round. I get excited by that.
Okay.
I don't think an ideal world is them taking a corner here at this spot. Safety, I think, is get dried up at that point.
There could be a guy at corner who's really, truly the best guy there.
No question. Right? Like, my favorite corner of the draft is still here, right? Avion Terrell. And who knows if he makes it that far. But at the end of the day,
yeah.
I'd rather take a good player than a
right. You'd rather have D'Angelo Pons,
right,
than force Jude Belton,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
We're speaking his language with D'Angelo Pons.
Sure.
I was going to say that at 54, it does feel like it's a tricky spot. I think, like, best case scenario, one of these guys that we are maybe surprised a little bit made it into day 2. Because I've seen Eagles fans saying, like, they should move up and get, like, a Chase Bisontis or, one of these guys who, again, slipped into day 2. I just don't see them moving up because of the number of picks that they have. I think, like, a best case scenario is probably, like, Treydan Stukes makes it to them at 54. Oh, you don't like Treydan Stukes?
He's a sixth-year senior.
You're right.
He's going to
know my audience on that one.
He's going to be 25, and he's a projection. He's never even played safety.
Yeah, I like Treydan Stukes. I like the physical traits. I like the projection, I guess is what I would say.
We're going to have an interesting conversation if that's the pick.
I don't
think it makes him there anyway.
Because Woof, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I mean, like the best case scenario would be Emmanuel McNeil-Warren falls for some reason, right? That's a plug and play guy, you would think. Bisontis would make some sense as well.
Yeah.
I think the offensive line guys, it's not great.
No, it dried up quickly.
And let's take a look at the history, the recent history, last 6 drafts or so of the offensive linemen who have gone in the second half of the second round. Lindsay, let's pull up the tackles first, because we talked about the best tackles come in the first round. That's not a surprise,
right?
But it's the best guy here is Sam Cosmi. So Sam Cosmi, Luke Gedeke, Dylan Radins, Roger Rosengarten, Patrick Paul, Kingsley Suamataia, Blake Fisher, Ozzie Trapilo, Anthony Belton. That's not the worst group of players.
No,
but that's a good sample of like the likelihood of the player you're likely to get, which is at best a starter.
Yeah, a couple of the guys here have had to kick into guard. One of the players that's on the board, Caleb Tiernan, one of my comparisons for him was Luke Gedeke. But that's the thing, is that a lot of these guys, even looking at this list, they're not players that the Eagles would have taken, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're looking for like those unique traits, those unusual traits, by the time you get to this point, it's honestly like if you were good enough to go in the second round with an unusual trait, you would have gone in the first.
Yeah.
So the guys that are going to have the unusual traits, they are much more raw, much more unrefined, and they're going like third, fourth, fifth round.
Markel Bell is not impossible in the second round, but I know it seems rich.
Yeah, it might be a little rich.
Maybe that's a trade down a little bit.
I could make a half-hearted case for Tiernan as they're shifting to a different offense, which doesn't because really I think he is it seems like as a prospect, if you can get past the arm length with him, there's a lot to like. Now, again, like the Eagles that might be a hang-up for the Eagles, but maybe in this system you prioritize the movement skills enough where you do talk yourself into a player like him.
Now, the flip side to that is guard, where honestly the track record in recent years is not that much better, but it is better, and there's more upside there, and you can see why that has been historically the case. So you got Creed Humphrey, who's an All-Pro, Cam Jurgens, who's a Pro Bowler, Ezra Cleveland, Josh Myers, Osiris, well, he was a good pro.
Yeah,
He was
yeah, I
2
know,
years
I
ago.
know,
He
it's
was
just funny,
a
yeah,
The
I
way
know,
you
I
said
know.
it was funny. Oh, yeah.
Zach Frazier. Some people like Tate Ratledge, had a good rookie year.
Frazier's a good player.
And then Ed Ingram, who did not work out well with this offensive line coach.
No.
John Michael Schmitz and Juice Scruggs, which is a great name.
Yes.
Great name.
Mixed bag here.
Another mixed bag.
Yeah, mixed bag.
But
Some
some
good
higher
players in
upside.
there. Yeah. So
Yeah.
honestly, it's the centers who were good. Like
Yeah.
Humphrey, Jurgens, Frazier, all were hits. Josh Myers, he kind of fell out, but everybody else from a center standpoint, like even John Michael Schmitz is a solid player.
Maybe
Yeah.
a Connor Lou night.
Connor Lou's a good player. Tore his ACL back in October, so he was a top 30 player for them over the summer. But he's a center only. Like that is a straight like we don't think Cam Jurgens can come back kind of deal in my opinion.
Or you're moving.
Or you moving
Jurgens
to guard.
Yeah.
Or you moving him to guard.
I mean, because when you look at that list, it is like the guys who fell because they are centers only are the ones that really pan out there more often than not.
Yeah, we just don't see centers go in the first round.
Yeah,
at the end of the
right.
day. Yeah.
Let's talk edge then. And
Okay.
let's start by addressing the rumors that are out there about Jonathan Greenard and the possibility there. We talked about it a little bit last night, but would you rather have Jonathan Greenard and paying him a new deal than the second round pick?
Second, I'd rather have the second.
I think I'd rather have the second.
I think I would too.
I think this team would rather have the second.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. The first third.
Which is number 68.
Yeah. Fourth pick of the third round.
It's tough. I'd probably rather have 68.
Would you rather have Denai Dennis Sutton or Jonathan Greenard? Is the question.
It's a tough question. Would you rather have denied Dennis Sutton under cost control for 4 seasons?
Right.
Or Jonathan Greenard at $29 million a year?
I don't think it's going to be that much. They're not going to pay
They're not
that
gonna
close to
Jalen
Jalen Phillips.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like, I think we'll be south of Jalen Phillips,
Yeah.
but not a ton south. I think that's,
Mm.
once you trade for him, I think that's the hang up is what's that number going to be?
Yeah. I would think it's more.
25?
Yeah. 25, 26.
This is giving me
I
PTSD
know.
from the Jalen
I
Phillips
know.
conversation we had.
I know.
Every day we're like, is he going to make 27?
Yeah.
There's no way. And then he got 30. I would probably rather have denied Dennis Sutton, but that's hard. That's really hard, especially
You can't
for
pay
this team. You can't pay him that much?
No, they can't. That's what I get that. That's what Oweh got 25.
Yeah. He's not a free agent though. It's different.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I mean, if you're trading for him, again,
But
that's
you're
why.
only trading for him if you can come to terms
Right.
on an
Yeah,
amendable
I
deal.
think that's why it's taken as long as it has.
Yeah, I wonder if that'll happen tonight. If it doesn't happen, this is a spot where somebody good could fall to them. Somebody, real.
Yeah.
TJ Parker, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
He probably won't get quite that far. Denied Dennis Sutton's out there. Gabe Akis feels like a bit of a Vic guy.
I think he's
He
a
could
good
potentially
type.
get there. How do you feel about Cashius Howell?
No,
Mm.
he's not an Eagles type.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles types off the edge. I think you're looking at TJ Parker. I think you're looking at Denai Dennis Sutton. I don't think R. Mason Thomas fits them
I know,
necessarily.
It's too bad I like R. Mason.
Yeah, I mean he's explosive. I think he can be a designated pass rusher type, but I really worried about him against the run. I worry about Cashius Howell against the run. So to me, for tonight, I think you're looking at TJ Parker from Clemson. You're looking at Denai Dennis Sutton from Penn State. You're looking at Gabe Akis from Illinois. You get in the third round, Derek Moore from Michigan. I think Kieran Crawford from Auburn is interesting, and I think that could work. Deshaun Barham from Michigan. I think that there's something there with him as well.
Yeah.
Some people like Zion Young. How do you feel about? I know you're a little bit lower on him.
Yeah,
in terms of an Eagles fit.
He's tough because I don't think that you're dropping him at all. He's like a Josh Sweat body type.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's like a pure 4-3 end. I don't love him in an odd front. So I struggle a little bit with Zion Young, and then also I worry about the athleticism and the overall pass rush upside there with him. Those are probably the ones for day two. I know that did they have Romello Height in for
They might have.
a 30 visit?
I think they.
Yeah,
They
that
did,
one would surprise me too. This is a 6th-year senior. He was a late breakout at 3 different schools. I believe it was USC to Georgia Tech to Texas Tech, if memory serves. He's lean. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
So I'll give you 2. Because listen, we talked a lot about who the Eagles are going to take in the first round. And they ended up taking somebody we didn't really spend a lot of time talking about because it surprised us so much. Can I give you 2 names that would be like the Howie Wowie?
Sure.
Garrett Nussmeier,
Yeah.
I think is one.
Yeah.
The second one, I have to look again because I'm missing him. Shoot.
I think on
Talk about
Nussmeier.
Garrett
Think about
Nussmeier.
it. I think on Nussmeier. Oh, is the Niners have picked to start the round, and it sounds like Deshaun Stribling is the pick, which is interesting. Eagles brought him in for a pre-draft visit.
Interesting.
Big and fast from Ole Miss, but I think not the consensus top wide receiver.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Board. But they need speed. That San Francisco team has needed speed for a while, so that makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
He's their type.
On Nussmeier, I feel like using the first-round pick on a wide receiver who's replacing a player who's to be departed, like you're not filling another hole, makes it less likely for them to use kind of a luxury pick at quarterback in this draft when they're.
Yeah.
I don't think that they need to draft for need. They have draft-proofed the roster to some degree, but I think if the first round was a tackle, you could afford to take a quarterback.
I remember when I did my first mock draft where I had to move it up for 10 rounds a week, I kind of felt the same way.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like that is a little bit of a luxury pick, and on day 2, you can't just keep taking luxury picks as a result.
All right, 2 questions along that topic then. Let's say they took Nussmeier. What is the lowest you would accept for Tanner McKee in a trade?
The lowest?
Yes.
I have my answer. I'll let you go first.
I think, and Deshaun Stribling is the pick. I think the lowest I would accept is a 2027 fourth that has conditions where it could turn into a third.
I was thinking in terms of day 3 picks for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's got to. I mean, 2 fourths.
2 fourths. So get what you got back from
at least.
Yep.
Okay. And I don't even think I would take that.
I think I would. I was going to say a conditional third for next year. That could turn into a 2.
Yeah. I think you can take a third this year potentially.
All right. So then the second question is there anybody else on this roster that you would see them trading for day 3 picks?
Keely Ringo.
Okay.
I mean, that's not, you're talking like a 7th,
right?
Or a swap of 4th for a 5th type deal, which is not.
You might be able to get more than 7. I think.
I don't think you're getting more than a 6.
First round pick a few years ago.
Yeah, I think that he's played. Yeah, I think I did.
I think that's a swap situation.
Maybe. Yep.
I
was thinking about this in the drive-in, and I couldn't get anyone else that I felt good about.
Give you a spicy one. I don't think they'd do it, but I'll throw it in for the sake of conversation.
Okay.
Moro Ojimo?
Yeah, I thought about that.
Get something for him?
I think.
I think they're too.
There'd be enough.
Yeah,
they're too positioned now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. He is like so aggressively not going to be back past this year.
Well, here's the one I think if you want to get crazy.
We're going back to the Jalen Carter one?
No, I don't think they're going to do that. I think if you wanted to get crazy, if in conjunction with an unexpected Greenard trade, if you had a Nolan Smith bidder.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
draft another edge.
Tonight. That would be for tonight, though, right? Not for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, for
tomorrow. That's what I'm thinking for.
I think for tomorrow, I think it's Ringo. I mean, is someone giving you something for Trotter or Mondon?
Got it.
Yeah.
Same thing with Shipley. I thought about him, but what are you getting for him?
Yeah, say it in the chat if you got more.
Jeff said
Jacorian Bennett. I mean, what the Eagles just traded? What for Bennett? It was
Thomas Booker.
Right? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So pretty valuable.
I mean, I think they would take a swap of 7th round picks for Jacorian Bennett.
Yeah.
They would. It doesn't even need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my other surprise pick.
Yeah.
Again, not saying I think it's going to happen, but it won't give up on the dream here. Chris Bell.
Let's go to break. Back with much more as round 2 is underway on the PHLY Eagles draft. Soon enough, when Makai Lemon arrives in Philadelphia, he will be given a new playbook. And we are here to give you a new playbook for Mother's Day. Because the usual Mother's Day playbook might be cards, flowers, something else. You know what? I think Mom deserves an upgrade this year. And that's where Aura Frames comes in. We're talking about a beautiful frame with unlimited storage, so you can add as many photos and videos as you want. Preload photos before it ships, so the gift is good to go. You can personalize it with a message before it arrives. You also get the gift box included, and you get to use the top-rated app. The #1 app store on Christmas Day in 2025 was Aura Frames for a reason. Aura Frames named #1 by Wirecutter. Go to Aura Frames and use the code PHLY. That's AURAFrames.com, promo code PHLY, and support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Exciting times. Makai Lemon coming to Philadelphia. And if you want to get some Makai Lemon gear, I know just the place for you. You want to head over to the Fanatics app. You can get the official gear for your favorite teams and players, including the latest drops, which it's going to be Makai Lemon. It's going to be the Eagles, the rest of the Eagles draft picks, maybe a new Phillies player. We'll see if they make some deals here coming up soon. But it's more than just shopping. You can play the free daily games in the app to earn fan cash, where you can spend on jerseys, game tickets. Maybe you want to get to a playoff game here in Philadelphia, collectibles, and more. It's the one-stop shop. Everything that you need all in one place, and it's built for fans just like us. Download the Fanatics app and start cashing in on your fandom. Get it today, allphly.com/fanatics. App access is open to all. Must be 21 or older to play. No purchase necessary. U.S. only. Void where prohibited. I'm telling you, the Fanatics app, that's where you're going to go to get all that Makai Lemon swag.
On the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, presented by
The Fanatics app.
And Ashley, as the Arizona Cardinals have made the second pick of the second round, Chase Bisontis, the good guard from Texas A&M, helps them out. You like that one, Fran?
Yeah, I mean, they need offensive line help. Obviously, they did not take the tackle last night. Bisontis does not help them at tackle, but maybe they can shift some things around and see who they can get in there to try and get the best 5 on the field.
How about Makai Lemon ringing the bell?
Let's say we got some Philadelphia news. You know, the little studio synergy. Makai Lemon ringing the bell at the Sixers game.
Yeah, we got Devon and Roy over there getting ready, watching the start of that game. Should be fun.
It's a great time at PHLY. So it's a lot of energy.
Good time to become a diehard.
Great time
to that.
Diehard.
The Texans are moving up to 36 with the Raiders. And at 35, the Bills have made a pick, drafting TJ Parker.
Okay.
Clemson edge.
He's like that's
their type.
got them. Oh yeah, it's got him written all over him.
Yeah.
Honestly, my comp for him was Bradley Chubb, and Bradley Chubb just signed there. That is absolutely their type. I'm gonna guess Houston is moving up for Kayden McDonald. That would be my guess. The nose tackle from Ohio State.
Okay,
that's my guess.
Good guess. We'll see. How do you guys feel about the tight ends? Now, he's talked about Oscar Delp. He thinks that could be potentially worth a second-round pick. Where are you at on, you're gonna pound the table for Eli Stowers?
No, I'm not going to pound the table for Eli Stowers. I think that would make sense if it were maybe a round from now, maybe 2 rounds from now. I think that at some point the value might stand out. I like it more than you guys, but I think that a combo tight end is going to be important for them. And for that reason, I have kind of come around on Oscar Delp. When we did our show where we went through the tight end prospects, I was hung up on the lack of production and really the lack of a real he's got the physical attributes that you'd want, but maybe not quite as explosive as you would have wanted to see. But as I watched the rest of the guys and kind of went back to Delp and listening to Fran, who knows more about this than I do, I have come more around on him, and I think that he might be an Eagles type here in the second round.
See, he is the perfect Venn diagram of who your type should be.
Yeah,
he is
he's
pretty
ready,
enticing.
Which is why I came around on him. I would say he's not do you agree? He's not a freakish athlete.
No, I think he's pretty. I think he's pretty.
You think he is?
Yeah,
okay.
He's not.
I don't know if it showed when you watched him. His
he didn't
numbers,
test. That's the problem.
Oh, that's what it is.
The yards after catch, the ball with the ball in his hands, the surge that he would have at the second and third level that's pretty unique for a guy that big.
For the record, I like him a lot more than I like Max Clare. I remember just not loving Max Clare when I watched him.
Yeah.
I liked Cash Merrick more when I watched those guys, which is not surprising.
That is not surprising.
Yeah.
like a Sam Roush. You and I like him a little bit more than Fran does.
Yeah.
Fine. Nice player.
If they're going to start
doesn't it make you feel silly when you like someone more than Fran? That's how I feel. But.
No, as long as it's in my principles, as long as it aligns with the things that I like in prospects, and I can acknowledge it's not always going to be right. When eventually we will do my guys, maybe tonight or tomorrow, you'll see that I'm evolving a little bit. There's some more nuance to some of this positional evaluation.
You say so. All right. So the Texans on the clock at 36 overall. Eagles up in quite some time now. 54 overall. Have some waiting to do. Gonna be a long ride tonight. Gonna be a lot of fun. So hope you're sticking with us. You had any news on Houston?
No, I'm waiting. I got it. Nailed it. Kayden McDonald.
Wow.
Man.
The guy is unbelievable.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Kayden McDonald, the nose tackle, goes to Houston. Awesome stuff. All right, we got to squeeze one more break in before the hour, so let's do that. We'll come back on the other side. The Giants on the clock after an interesting night for them. I want to talk when we come back about this John Harbaugh saying that Arvell Reese is going to be an off-ball linebacker and not an edge guy. We'll get your thoughts.
And let's talk Kayvon Thibodeau as well.
Let's talk Kayvon Thibodeau. What a tease. Stay with us. Eagles on the hunt for the perfect player to fit their needs this weekend. You can be on the hunt to find the perfect vehicle that fits your needs. This is where you can make the smart move at the trade-up event going on now at Elkins Chevrolet. You get to look at your options and then step up and save. Find the perfect ride, that hidden gem that's going to upgrade your whole day, maybe your whole year, at a great price. The trade-up event is happening right now. You got to get yourselves over to Marlton, New Jersey, Route 73 South. That's where the good folks at Elkins Chevrolet are making this happen. And you're going to come out ahead big time. You're going to make your pick. You're going to make your trade. You're going to upgrade that ride at the trade event. Elkins Chevrolet, our friends, real brothers, real deals, and you know what else? A whole heck of a lot of honking good service. Elkins Chevrolet on Route 73 South in Marlton, New Jersey. Go to the trade-up event this weekend and do tell them PHLY sent you, Elkins Chevy. Chickies and Pete's was voted the #1 sports bar in America by ESPN, and they are right here in the Delaware Valley. We had a great time on Thursday night at the Chickies and Pete's in Marlton. Thanks to everybody there who came out. Thanks to the good folks at Chickies for setting us up with a great spot. And you can go to Chickies anytime you want, especially if you're looking for a good cocktail. Chickies has all kinds of fun ones for the spring and the summer. There's the Italian Ice Crush, a Just Peachy, Very Berry Cherry Martini, or a non-alcoholic Strawberry Ginger Lemonade. Maybe you'd prefer one of the signature cocktails, like the Flying Hawaiian, made with coconut rum, the Jack Mango Smash, the refreshing Vanilla and Orange Creamsicle Crush, or Raspberry Sangria or Patriot Punch. Perfect summer cocktails only at Chickies and Pete's. Locations and details are available at chickiesandpete's.com. Tell them PHLY sent you and have a Flying Hawaiian on Fran. Back on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, Night 2. Bo Wulf, EJ Smith, the great Fran Duffy, the Giants on the clock. Now, you have a bit of a spicy take on Kayvon Thibodeau, Mr. Duffman.
I do. So it looks like they're going to be trying to trade the former first-round pick after the selection of Arvell Reese.
Do you think that's why Harbaugh's calling Arvell Reese an off-ball linebacker to maintain leverage there?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. He's calling Arvell Reese an off-ball linebacker. Yeah. Hey, we want to build up the spine of the defense and all that. Really sold it. So there we go. It is a corner for the Giants. They're taking Tennessee corner.
No, not McCoy. Colton Hood.
Yes.
Colton Hood.
I'm okay with that. It's okay. I wasn't the biggest.
Nobody needs to be too worried about that.
I wasn't the biggest Colton Hood guy. I would rather, and now we don't know what the price is yet.
Right.
Are we going with a soft Thibodeau, or is it? I forget what it was.
Thibodeau, isn't it?
I think you might be right.
You know what? I would have said Thibodeau, but I think it might be Thibodeau.
Either way.
Anyway.
Kayvon Thibodeau. I think it is Thibodeau. I'm like trying to revert back to like 4 years ago. I would rather pay the price on him and pay him the contract that I think he would get, as opposed to Greenard and the contract he would get and the price he would get.
So
I think the arrow might still be pointing up on Thibodeau a bit here.
It's an Eaglesy type move, too.
Thibodeau only 25, will be 26 in December.
Yep.
Good 2.5 sacks last season.
Yeah.
5.5 the year before that, and he's missed a combined 12 games over the past 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
His second year in 2023 had 11.5 sacks, played the whole season. So there's a history of production.
Yeah.
You compare that to Greenard, who had the back-to-back 2 seasons where he had 24.5 sacks, but last year dropped down to 3 and missed 5 games, and he is 4 years older.
Yeah, like I'm not I'm not disputing the fact that Greenard's a better player right now. But I think if I'm saying like, all right, I've got to, because honestly, the way I feel about it, if I'm going to pay that price on the trade market for Greenard and pay him that level of contract that we're talking about, just trade for Crosby. Like that's kind of how I feel. Like it's like I feel like he is like right in the middle there, where it's like, all right, I either want to bring this down a tier or I want to just go up a tier. Like give me the great player that I know is going to produce for a couple of years at a high rate. I struggle with the Greenard compensation.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be lower than we expect if it happens. I like the Thibodeau idea though. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I don't know if the Giants would trade Thibodeau to the Eagles.
Kayvon Thibodeau and Nick Sirianni got some beef. You don't remember this?
Tell me about it.
Thibodeau did. This is like only something in.
Man, I don't remember that one.
Yeah. Thibodeau did Snow Angels next to who was it? Who is the Colts quarterback that broke their ribs? And Kayvon Thibodeau was the one who hit him. Was it Phillip Rivers? Was it Nick Foles? It was one of them. It was an Indianapolis Colts quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah. They did Snow Angels, and Kayvon Thibodeau did Snow Angels while they were like writhing in pain after they broke their ribs. I remember Nick Sirianni didn't like that. And that Kayvon Thibodeau, I think after the game was like, I don't even know who he is. Like, who is this guy? I think he was talking about Jeff Saturday at the time, for the record. He was talking about Jeff Saturday being like, I don't even know who you are. Yeah. And I remember thinking like, Nick's not a fan of that.
It was Foles, by the way.
It was Nick Foles who broke his ribs. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they actually.
You have another player from a draft pick last night. You think is interesting?
New York Jets drafted a tight end.
About that in the chat. Yeah.
Could Mason Taylor be a trade target for the Eagles at tight end?
To me, if they're already moving on from him, it's like the who's the kid from the Raiders that everybody's been talking about for years after they drafted Bowers.
Yeah, Michael Mayer.
Yeah, Michael Mayer. It's like
I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, if they're already moving on,
I'll give you a sixth.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Sure. There's no way the price is going to make sense for the team acquiring them.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, back to the action at hand. The Giants drafting your boy Colton Hood, bigger corner, some physicality to him. Have you learned anything about the kind of team that John Harbaugh wants to put together with the 3 picks they've made so far?
Well, Joe Banner went on social media today and said, hey, this is the Eagles' philosophy through and through. Now, I think that Joe Banner might have been operating under the idea that Arvell Reese is an edge rusher and not an off-ball linebacker, but because he was responding to someone who had said that they're surprised that they didn't take Caleb Downs at 5 overall. And it's like, they would never spend that high level of asset on the safety position, ignoring the fact that they took Kyle Hamilton with a top 15 pick and selected another safety in the first round last year as well, Malachi Starks, when he was in Baltimore. But I think that if I'm looking at Colton Hood, I mean, red flag for me, 3 schools in 3 years.
Yeah.
Only a 1-year starter, transferred to Colorado in 2024, didn't play. Came over to Tennessee this year. And his film is solid, but he was being billed as like a first-round player. And going down to the Senior Bowl, it's like, all right, like this is a first-round guy. The Senior Bowl now, like you might have a handful of first-round picks. I wasn't blown away by him, up close. I thought the film was just okay. So if he was going to go anywhere, sure. They end up in New York. End up with the Giants.
They had too much momentum from last night. They had to strip up somewhere, right?
I have bad news for you.
Oh no,
your boy just went off the board.
Who is my boy in this scenario? I've got a couple.
We know that.
It's the Raiders?
Yeah, it's the Raiders.
It's Chris Bell.
Is it Stukes?
It is Stukes.
Thank God.
So Stukes goes to the Raiders.
I mean, that just validates my point.
Does it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because the Raiders have such a sterling record.
I mean, he went earlier than
decisions.
I said that it would be a best case scenario because I figured he'd go early. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is the best case scenario. Saving the Eagles from themselves if he was on their board.
So we've got
Stukes over Emmanuel McNeil-Warren.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's who goes next here. I think Emmanuel McNeil-Warren goes to the Browns. Chiefs, that could be Chris Bell. That could be Chris Bell.
Validating again.
Or actually, they took Blaine. I was going to say Jermod McCoy actually is
not validating.
It is validating. If the players I like go before the Eagles pick, I would have been good value where they were picking.
Not necessarily. That's very funny. Tell us about Treydan Stukes, the 145-year-old.
So basically, this is a player that has risen through the process.
Yeah.
He's a 6th-year senior. he was very lightly recruited coming out of high school. He was like a 150-pound track athlete, like all-state triple jump. I set all kinds of records out west, and walks on to the football team at Arizona as a corner. Plays his first couple years as a backup, works his way into the starting lineup, becomes a captain as a junior, and is just known for like sterling intangibles. Outstanding kid, kicks into the slot. Gets hurt, has a season-ending injury in 2024, doesn't play. So comes back this season, plays in the nickel. He's a bigger corner, and I'm watching it. I'm like, at this size, I don't think he can play on the outside. I don't think he runs all that well. I know that there were other scouts that kind of shared that opinion. That was the thought on him coming into the combine. So that's why he was listed with the safeties going to the combine, even though he's played fewer than 40 snaps at safety in his career. It's like a deep safety. He's only really been an outside corner and then a nickel. Then he goes and he runs 4.3. Yeah. And so, everyone's like, oh, well, I guess he can run, but he's still being viewed as a safety. Phenomenal kid, really smart, hard worker, all the intangibles, but 6th-year senior, come with the season-ending injury. And if you're playing him at safety, it's developmental. Like he's never played the position before. Yeah. So it's a tough bet.
A not tough bet is for those of you watching on Fast to take a quick 2-minute TV break on YouTube. Stay with us. And we're back. A developmental 25-year-old.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not a top of the second round pick to me.
They did list him at corner. Should be noted. They did list him at corner.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe they view him as a slot.
Yep.
He was on a pre-draft visit with the Eagles.
Yeah.
I know he had fans.
Some degree of interest for sure.
Yeah.
Receiver off the board to Cleveland.
And not Chris Bell.
Not Chris Bell.
And you're about to leave. I'm going to guess Denzel Boston?
Yep, the Cleveland Browns. I was just going to say, I was going to give you the clues. The Cleveland Browns love underclassmen from Power 5 schools. They go Denzel Boston. A player that, for everything I have heard, was that in the first round, they loved Casey Concepcion. That's who they wanted to take at 24, but would have been happy with Denzel Boston as the backup plan.
Okay.
Yeah, they are very different players.
So they end up getting both guys.
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right. Good luck, Fran.
Yeah.
Fran's going to join the good folks at PHNX. Talk about the Bisontis pick. There you go. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I enjoy this weekend so much. I know that there's been some speculation that day 3 I'm trying to get home early. I mean, I like to sleep as well, but I enjoy this weekend.
Yeah, I was putting together. We got a 9 a.m. Little League game.
Tomorrow
morning. Got to put together that lineup. It'll be an interesting morning tomorrow.
Oh man, it's tomorrow. So it's tomorrow morning. You've got 9 a.m.
Tomorrow and Sunday. Yeah.
Man. Okay. I mean, listen. It seems like your team's trending in the right direction. I feel good about this for you.
Looking forward to the games. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love these kids.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to think if I had any other takeaways from Makai Lemon's presser for you. Jalen Hurts reached out to him.
Okay.
Which is like very customary for Jalen Hurts.
Sure.
And I saw Lincoln Riley did an interview. I think it was with the Fanatic, where he said that Jalen. Or no, you know what? This is a credit to Olivia Reiner at the Inquirer.
Okay.
Spoke to.
Heard of her?
Yeah, she's great. Yeah. USC's wide receiver coach, who was also at Oklahoma when Jalen was there, and said that they are wired very similarly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's good. See if we can get that guy on the show.
We should. Yeah. I mean, this is a good time, like the peek behind the curtain as a reporter, like getting the college coaches when one of their like star pupils gets drafted.
Yeah.
It's a good time to get them. You know, it's something that they love
gets their name out there.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. We have the Kansas City Chiefs on the clock after the Denzel Boston selection by the Cleveland Browns.
I think that they wanted Boston. Fran said that they might go wide out here.
It's possible. Who would be your now that your dream of drafting Rodney McLeod is? Oh, I love Rodney McLeod. I'm saying Rodney McLeod now.
Rodney McLeod.
Rodney McLeod now. Who was like your dream pick here?
It's a good question. I mean, right now, available, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren.
Yeah.
That has to be like that is the OMG Howie did it again player on the board. Outside of that, I think it probably is.
I think the dream is that there's just a really good player.
Yeah.
Like a McNeil-Warren, an Avion Terrell.
It's a tough fit though.
Oh, I think Terrell is actually a pretty good fit.
Long term, yeah, you're basically saying he's Reek Woolen for us next year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, you are correct that like they have to look at it long term there. But I think if you're an Eagles fan and like they drafted an AJ Brown replacement and Reek Woolen's replacement a year early, and they haven't addressed offensive line. Yeah. Now I don't think that there's an offensive lineman that jumps out to me as a perfect fit here. I mean, I gave him Caleb Tiernan at 54, because I didn't love the options.
Yeah.
And again,
not necessarily the elite tools in his body.
Yeah, and not like
position.
We can stick this guy on an island and feel great about him. Oh, I see the pick is in for the Chiefs.
Oh, it's a guy that I like.
R. Mason
Thomas. I like him a lot. The edge rusher from Oklahoma, a little bit undersized, so probably wasn't the ideal fit for the Eagles. But boy, does he have some really fun pass rush moves, and the way that he's able to sort of change gaps mid rush is really fun to watch.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed his tape. Obviously, I had some guys I liked more. I'm a big denied Dennis Sutton guy.
Yeah,
for me, Gabe Backus and is it Deshaun Barham?
Deshaun Barham. Yeah,
both of those guys are like clones of each other to me, man. Like I think
I think they're much different.
I feel like their play style is very similar. They're both like.
I feel like Backus is all power, whereas Barham is.
Barham is mostly power too.
Yeah,
Barham's smaller, but he is just like I just want to run.
I like him.
Run through someone's face.
He's fun.
Yeah, I like both of them a lot. I'm trying to actually go through. So I'll ask you.
Okay.
Who would like the worst case scenario be for you at 54? Who's the player that if they took you, just be like, I cannot believe that they made that selection? I know who it is for you.
Realistically,
yeah,
probably Emmanuel Pregnon.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought you were going to say Eli Stowers.
Yeah, I mean, I would be curious about that, but Pregnon's going to be 25.
Yeah. And honestly, like, he did not have as much power on tape as you would expect for a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's always one of those things. Like, Markel Bell had some of that too. I like Markel Bell, but it's always like a little bit of a red flag to me when it's like, this guy's a mammoth tackle prospect and he's not pushing people around.
Stowers, I would not love. Cashius, Howell, I guess I could get on board with that in the second round.
Yeah. Jeremy Bernard, I don't think it's realistic, but I wouldn't like that.
No.
Even they could take a receiver that I wouldn't be totally out on, but he is one that I would not be in on.
No, I'm out on that. I mean, what about like Jacob Rodriguez?
It would stun me. That would be
pretty
a shocking one. But I think it's important to say, it's an important point about the Makai Lemon
Nate
pick.
Borkacher?
Now that would be, I would enjoy that for content.
Oh man.
any of the sickos who aren't already here would be rushing to the stream to see what your reaction to that would be. I was going to say that the Makai Lemon pick is further evidence that the Eagles really have been, I wouldn't say like aligned with the consensus board, but I think they value the consensus board.
I think it's an input.
Teams. Yeah. But they have been willing to be aggressive to get players that are higher on the consensus board. Usually if you see where they're picking relative to the prospects that they select, they're usually higher on the consensus board than where their selections are.
Yeah, I think there can be a little bit of a misunderstanding on that front where it's like the Eagles are going by the consensus board.
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
And it's more that the consensus board reflects that the Eagles are plugged into what is the sort of the national wisdom in the league on the prospects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that I think it's more about the consensus board reflecting the Eagles trying to walk with, in general, consensus, as opposed to them being like, okay, who's next on the consensus board?
Right. And I think it's also just a reflection of like value. You know, when you're moving up 3 spots to get a guy who's 12th on the consensus board, I think that is good process. And it's honestly like their draft record. They need to do whatever they can to keep that up. I mean, that is the difference. That's been
unbelievable.
The difference for them. It is. I wonder if maybe this is a good question for the chat here. I'm curious, like because it feels like there's always a natural ebb and flow to draft success. Like, how worried are Eagles fans about like the natural ebb and flow that might be coming here, especially because there's an urgency to get it right on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah. I believe that the Bengals are taking Cashius Howell.
Okay. That's probably a relief at least for Fran, who was
he's
bit lower on Cashius Howell.
He's a little bit lower on him. There's some real questions about whether he can hold up against the run.
Yeah, which is a fair question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's take our next break here on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show. Are Mason Thomas off the board and Cashius Howell as well? So a run on edge guys going. The Eagles are about 13 picks away. Getting close. What are they going to do? Some good players still available. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. Wow. Stay tuned. Tomorrow is the day. Ashley's biggest one-day event is here, and it's happening on Saturday. Starting at 10 a.m., you've got 12 hours to save big on all of Ashley's hottest styles. Take up to 20% off all Ashley furniture or shop now and pay later with Ashley's 60 months, no interest financing, sofas, bedrooms, dining sets, sectionals, and more. Up to 20% off. Don't miss the huge savings this Saturday only at Ashley. Tomorrow is the day. Make it happen. I was talking to Fran about some potential day 3 quarterback options for the Eagles this year, and he was like, there's this guy from Iowa, a little bit older. He could be a developmental backup. And I was like, oh, that's true. Mark Gronowski. But that's not the true Mark we're talking about. No, we're talking about True Mark Financial because it's Financial Literacy Month. You need to know that they've got the Greenlight app to help out your kids. And they've also just rolled out their new Momentum Checking, which is built for everyday life. No big balance requirements, no hoops, no confusing tiers. Right now, there's a $250 bonus when you open a new Momentum Checking account and meet the qualifications. More perks, less hassle. That's a win as far as I'm concerned. Check it out at truemark.com or visit one of their 24 local branches. TRUMARK.com. Tell them PHLY sent you. And if you got a kid, get them hooked on that Greenlight savings account, that app. Teach them financial literacy. TrueMark, make it happen. Ashley's biggest one-day sale event is happening this Saturday. Starting at 10 a.m., you've got 12 hours to save big on all of Ashley's hottest styles of the season. Shop Ashley Hot Buys and unwind on the Belcaro Place sofa and sleep in style on the Port-Down Queen bed. Plus, take up to 20% off all Ashley furniture or shop now and pay later with Ashley's 60 months, no interest financing. Don't miss the huge savings starting at 10 a.m. this Saturday during Ashley's 12-hour sale. Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, presented by
the Fanatics app
and Ashley. As we creep a little closer to the Eagles pick, take a look there at the most recent Ohio State early round picks. Good little run for them. Too bad they can't get it done when it matters. You know what I mean?
What would Matty P say about that?
I don't know. Probably something that sounds smart to someone not smart.
There's a soccer coach that just got fired that people make that claim about.
The Chelsea guy?
Yeah, Liam Rosenia. Like he sounds smart to a dumb person. Yeah. The man age.
Okay.
Aging men. You didn't hear about this?
No, I did not.
He manages to age men, is what he said.
Really?
Yeah, he said that. Sorry, that is not NFL draft talk.
That's very funny. All right. Good stuff. Who do you want in the chat? Who are you hoping for?
Yeah.
Let us know. Like, what's your dream? Emmanuel McNeil-Warren still on the board is an interesting one. Yeah.
If the Eagles hadn't already traded their 2 fourth round picks to get Makai Lemon, would they already have moved up to get McNeil-Warren?
I don't think so.
It would be very reminiscent of Cooper DeJean type of situation.
Yeah.
Not the injury, but just moving up on day 2 to get a player that you had a first round grade on.
I think McNeil-Warren is probably like if he gets to us, we could take him.
Yeah.
I don't know that they would trade a lot.
I think they would have maybe moved one of the fourths. Maybe I'll meet you in the middle on that. But
maybe.
I don't think it'll happen at this point. I think that they'll have to stick and pick. I could see him moving back. I could see them back. Yeah. I don't want to overweight my experience going through the mock draft simulator this morning, but it was like a tricky spot where it felt like a lot of the best players on the board were corners or defensive tackles.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? If they could move out of 54, move back and recoup some picks on day 3, I wouldn't hate that outcome for them.
I don't think that's bad.
I still think they could start the run at tight end or at least get one of their, one of the tight ends that's high on their board if they do move back 10 or 12 spots, let's say.
You're probably right. I think the corner of the positions where we don't think they're going to pick is the one where they could stick and still take a guy just because it's a valuable position.
Yeah.
The Saints at 42, the 10th pick in the round, are taking Georgia defensive tackle Christen Miller. Probably
Georgia
a good result for the Eagles. Not someone they would have been interested in.
Yeah, I think if you're an Eagles fan right now, you're rooting for defensive tackles and corners to go off the board for the reason we just stated. Linebackers, you're loving every linebacker that goes off the board. I don't think that there are many running backs in play at this point, which is unfortunate for the Eagles. But yeah, you're hoping that somebody. Honestly, you're just hoping that Emmanuel McNeil-Warren makes it to you.
Yeah, I think already I don't know that there's an offensive lineman they would take.
It's just Tiernan. I mean, if you think they would take Tiernan.
Yeah.
It's like this isn't a good range for the offensive lineman we expect them to take, or we expect them to have interest in. Jude Bowery, Isaiah World, Markel Bell, Travis Burke, all those guys, their range really starts in about 20 to 30 picks.
Yeah. Now,
you don't want to get too cute, but again, especially when you only have 6 picks, moving back would make a lot of sense in that scenario.
How about Jermod McCoy? You think they would, if given the he's obviously falling because of an injury.
Yeah.
Missed all of last season with a torn ACL. There's more reports about how difficult it might be for him to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But the tape from 2 years ago was a top 20 pick on the outside, young.
Yeah.
I could see that.
My pushback for you here is we heard from Howie Roseman before the draft that I guess he was speaking specifically about first round picks.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
Didn't pan out, but I'm sure it extends to day 2 picks, especially today. Is there too much Sidney Jones in the Jermod McCoy evaluation? A guy who tore his ACL in January 2025, and it was while he was training at home too, which is like it's especially scary. I mean, I guess non-contact injury can happen anywhere, but yeah, I think there might be a little bit too much baggage or scarring from the Sidney Jones experience there. But I mean, from a team building perspective, like a guy that needs a redshirt year, you have Rick Woolen for 1 season. You feel good about that succession planning. I could see it. I don't know. With the way the board's falling, I do think it's more likely, I would say.
I think that's right. Christen Miller off the board. The Cowboys making a trade, acquiring 49ers linebacker D. Winters. One of the good full sentences out there in the league.
D. Winters.
Mm-hmm.
How is that a full sentence?
Winter is a verb.
Okay.
Yeah. D. Winters in Colorado.
Okay. I'm not fancy enough to be wintering anywhere, so I don't think of it like that.
Neither am I, but D does. D. Winters.
Oh, Dolphins are taking Texas Tech linebacker Jacob Rodriguez.
Okay, there's a good one for the Eagles.
That is
too.
Good news for
any
him.
Linebacker who goes. CJ Allen when he goes, that'll be good news for the Eagles.
So 54 is on the clock now. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren still on the board.
All right. Now we have some Fran interesting reporting from around all city. So we're going to bring Fran in, and we're going to tell you about some very interesting news to those sickos of you in the Rita's ice cold moment, because this to me is ice cold. Sounds to me, Fran, like you were on with the PHNX guys.
I was.
You were talking about Chase Bisontis.
Yes.
And you ice cold dropped the name of somebody who should not be named?
Well, here's the reason. So the offensive line coach for the Arizona Cardinals is Justin Fry, who was previously at Ohio State, but before that was at Boston College and was the offensive line coach at Temple under Steve Adazio, was a protege for him.
Boo!
Played for him in Indiana. Followed him to Georgia, or to Florida rather, and was his GA down at Florida, then followed him to Temple. So as soon as I sat down and I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, yeah, that's the connection there as to why why they like Bisontis so much.
Because Bisontis originally
recruited by Texas A&M by Adazio and coached for him.
I mean, you could not have a redder flag.
Well, I'm not.
I think I would rather draft a 29-year-old.
That is really saying something. Lions trade up.
Lions trade up.
44. Yep. The Lions just trade up for Emmanuel McNeil-Warren.
Well, let's get your quick thoughts here before we find out who this is, Fran, on the last few picks. Cashius Howell to the Bengals, Christen Miller to the Saints.
Miller to the Saints, okay.
And then the Dolphins taking... Who did they take?
Jacob Rodriguez, right?
Jacob Rodriguez.
Yes. Dolphins took Rodriguez.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Nice pick. Yeah, it's those are some there's some good picks. Oh, here we go. Lions pick. It's an edge rusher. One of the names I brought up is an Eagles fit.
No, is it Denai Dennis?
No, it's not Denai Dennis. It is not Akis. It's actually a guy that I felt would be a little bit lower on the board. So I think this is
not Barham, is it?
It's not Barnes.
Zion.
It's the other Michigan edge. It's,
Oh,
Derek
interesting.
Moore.
Derek Moore.
Yep. So Derek
Traded
Moore
up for him.
Lions. Yeah, traded up for him.
Interesting. And they took Blake Miller yesterday.
The Lions always have weird drafts. It feels like they always do
Usually
things
they're taking Fran's guys.
Sometimes they take my guys. Yes,
they
correct.
have weird drafts.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah, they don't have as much regard for positional value. They do have that we're drafting good football players, baby.
Yes.
This could be the turning of the tide for the Lions, really going in the other direction, and that's why that has been your ice cold moment, presented by Rita's. The Lions had been on a drafting hot streak, not so much anymore.
We got 9 picks until the Eagles are would be on the clock at 54.
Yeah, we're getting
9
close.
picks. Yeah. All right, we're moving.
9 picks. McNeil-Warren still on the board.
I was about to say I might
That's
try
an
to
interesting dream to hold on to.
wait till they get closer, and then we should start listing the 6 or 7 players that we think would make a lot of sense for
I
them.
want to ask you about, do you think that they would take a chance on Jermod McCoy? Ooh, he's got to process that one.
Stopped him in his track.
They could. Yeah, they definitely could. Here's the concern on McCoy is it's not his health now. It's not his health tomorrow. It's his health 4 or 5 years from now. It's like the Jay Ajayi degenerative knee issue. That's the concern. So at some point, 5 years from now or so, it might just completely go. That's kind of the concern.
Just disappear? His knee's going to just fly away?
Yeah, gone.
That knee's arms are going to be tired. I used the Sidney Jones comparison, especially how he talked about players that kind of fit the description of the picks that they've made that haven't worked out.
Yeah, that's a whole different deal though. Because he missed the whole rookie year. Like that, I think it's not the opposite, but he's fine. Like he just ran 4.3 a few weeks ago. It's that 5 years from now, what's it going to look like?
It's fair.
McNeil-Warren.
Yeah, let me.
Honestly, the corners who are on the board are good enough that it would be worth it for me.
Yeah,
whether that's Terrell.
Yeah, but say Terrell is still on the board, right?
Man, D'Angelo Pons in the secondary would be so fun.
How do you think Vic feels about it? Vic must love him, right?
Yeah, I would think that he loves him. Yeah, I would think he loves him.
How could he not?
He hasn't.
You cannot watch D'Angelo Pons and not fall in love with him.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
You can have everybody come in. Listen.
There's a bunch of teams ahead of him, though. I think they might.
The numbers on his measurables and stuff are nuts. D'Angelo Pons, if you are unfamiliar, from Indiana, under 5'9", 5'8 and a half, 182, with 29 3/8 inch arms. All of those would be the lowest measures of any elite corner in the sample.
Yep.
But he had a very good vert.
Yeah.
And he's
awesome.
Tough as nails, man.
Awesome.
Watch him against Denzel Boston. If you have concerns about his height, watch him against Denzel Boston.
He's awesome. He's a great player.
Vic does love him. You're right.
Has to, right?
Vic is probably doing what you're doing. He's probably trying not to get his hopes up right now.
That would be so fun.
It is strange we're talking so much about secondary here.
That's where the value is right now.
Right. It just speaks to where they're at and kind of what presents itself on the board, you know.
All right, other options here. So we're how many picks away?
Backus and Dennis Sutton.
Both there. Yep.
They could take any of the tight ends.
Any of the tight ends, Justin Jolie, Oscar Delp, people like Max Blair, he's there.
Sell me on
Pregnon. Okay, so Emmanuel Pregnon, 6th-year senior at guard.
Congratulations.
I think you would be expecting that he was going to come in and he'd be able to compete at right guard right away. He's big.
It'd take about 9 months for him to get ready.
Yeah, I think that when you're looking at Pregnon, he's a phone booth player. He's big, he's strong. He's not the most explosive athlete, but honestly, like Brandon Brooks style. Like that's kind of what you're looking at here. Like he's big and he's tall and he's powerful. He's not like Brooks was a better athlete, especially like at his peak. Like he was a better athlete than Pregnon. But I remember watching him for the first time and I was like, yeah, like he's just a good football player. He is a good player. He's going to go at some point here in the second round, just because I think he's kind of viewed as plug and play.
We'll give him a bump.
Must have been quite a showing that Fran saw.
Yeah,
I was trying.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think Zion Young.
Too early to say.
Zion Young is going to be a Raven. It looks like.
I think that's fine for the Eagles.
That's and that's a Raven type.
Okay. All right, let's take our next break here on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show. Night 2, double dipping. Hopefully those of you guys are doing a 2-screen situation. Maybe us on your laptop with the sound and then the Sixers game on the TV muted. I think that's the right way to do it tonight.
Yeah, you know what? We should ask people to send us their second screen.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so tweet it at us or send it to us on Instagram. Your second screen, your third screen.
Yeah, give us your setup of how you're watching Sixers
and maybe we can flash
and us tonight.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Maybe we can do a little slideshow of those as the show goes on. That'll be a lot of fun. But for now, we take our next break. Back with more on the other side. Eagles closing in. EMW still available.
Exciting times. Makai Lemon coming to Philadelphia. And if you want to get some Makai Lemon gear, I know just the place for you. You want to head over to the Fanatics app. You can get the official gear for your favorite teams and players, including the latest drops, which it's going to be Makai Lemon. It's going to be the rest of the Eagles draft picks, maybe a new Phillies player. We'll see if they make some deals here coming up soon. But it's more than just shopping. You can play the free daily games in the app to earn fan cash, where you can spend on jerseys, game tickets. Maybe you want to get to a playoff game here in Philadelphia, collectibles, and more. It's the one-stop shop. Everything that you need all in one place, and it's built for fans just like us. Download the Fanatics app and start cashing in on your fandom. Get it today, allphly.com/fanatics. App access is open to all. Must be 21 or older to play. No purchase necessary. U.S. only. Void where prohibited. I'm telling you, the Fanatics app, that's where you're going to go to get all that Makai Lemon swag.
You got to feel for the draft picks this weekend. Now they do get to realize this lifelong dream for sure, but it also means starting something new, and starting something new can be scary, terrifying even. And that's where Shopify comes in, because if you're starting a new business, you need some help. You need some help from Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses worldwide and about 10% of all e-commerce in the United States. From major brands to people just launching their first idea, Shopify gives you everything you need to start and grow. You can build a beautiful online store with hundreds of ready-to-use templates, and Shopify's built-in tools can help write product descriptions, page headlines, and even improve product photos. Plus, you can run email and social campaigns and manage inventory, handle shipping and returns, and track analytics all in one place. And when you need help, 24/7 customer support. Go to shopify.com/allcity. Shopify.com/allcity.
It's them.
Back on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, Bo Wulf, EJ Smith, Fran Duffy.
Oh.
Keep sending us, please send us those setups that you got tonight. What is that a reaction for?
It's an Eagles tie-in goes to the Bucks.
Philadelphia native.
Philly native.
Josiah Trotter.
Trotter in the second round.
Over CJ Allen. That's interesting.
Yeah. People were talking about I like CJ Allen. He was one of my highest graded linebackers, but everybody was like, "Oh yeah, he's a first round pick," and it's like, no, like he's a nice player, but he's just not that level of physical specimen. But I like CJ Allen. I would have taken him over Trotter personally, but yeah, Josiah Trotter going to Tampa.
Good for
That's
him.
interesting. All right,
Yeah.
a couple pieces of YouTube business to discuss. First of all, a lot of people watch it live. Please hit that like button.
Please.
I'm not asking for much. Just hit the button. Please do it.
Do
Number
it. 2,
I really appreciate what seems to be a nice organic groundswell for some Lemon Party merch. I think we could put some heat behind that if the powers that be, or if they see enough of an organic uprising here. So you got to comment below the video.
Yeah.
We want Lemon Party merch.
It can't be the chat.
It can't be the chat. It's
Can't
got
be the chat.
to
It's
be
gotta
a
be a
comment
comment.
underneath
Yes.
the video. I think if we hit critical mass there, if there's enough behind it, who are we to turn it down and not listen to the people?
I still don't know what it is. So I just feel like I got to steer very much away from this without knowing what it is.
I think if you're all really interested in it, I think we can make it happen.
Is it okay for me to say I'm steering away from it? Like, is that an acceptable thing to say?
Everything's acceptable. There's no judgment here.
No.
Whatever you say.
Party. I think we can make it happen.
Yeah,
It's
you're right.
destined. Okay.
I'm not looking it up. I'm too scared.
Colts now on the board, which is the 15th pick of the round. Eagles the 22nd pick of the round. So we are getting close. Caleb Tiernan, Markel Bell, Emmanuel Pregnon. Those are really I think Tiernan and Pregnon are the only possibilities. Is there anybody else who could surprise us there in the second round? Bowery? They wouldn't do that, right? Is there an interior guy? Is there another guard?
Yeah. I had them taking Bowery in the 4th round. Now, listen, I'm not the orator on where these guys are going to go, but that does feel very early.
I like Jalen Farmer, but that seems
I love
a little
Jalen
early.
Farmer.
That
but
seems
yeah,
a little
second
early.
round.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
And then, none of the centers.
No, I don't think there's anybody that makes
I think that's
sense
I think
for
that's a 2-horse race for the offensive line.
Yep.
I
think the Cowboys made a trade for a linebacker.
They did. D. Winters.
D. Winters.
One of the great full sentences.
Of course.
We talked about this while you were gone, that winters is a verb. Like D. Winters in Aspen.
Yep.
Now, I don't winter anywhere, so it never really crossed my mind.
I mean, I winter in Philadelphia. But
I winter at the PHLY studios. Change it for anything.
The dentist denied Dennis Sutton. Gabe Ackus.
You see the chat?
What? I don't know, man. If it's not Emmanuel, I think if Emmanuel McNeil-Warren lasts, I kind of think that is the pick.
Mike Garafolo reporting the Steelers just traded up to 47.
I bet they're drafting Makai Lemon.
They're on the phone with Makai Lemon again.
They're like,
they call him.
It could be.
They're just.
It could be Bell.
They're drafting AJ Brown.
It could be Chris Bell.
Yeah,
it could be Chris Bell. I don't think they're taking a quarterback.
But like the Chris Bell and Aaron Rodgers sounds like a really fun pairing to watch combust.
He's their type, though. Like they like bigger body, yards after catch. You think about a lot of the guys that they had success with in Green Bay. He definitely fits them.
To me, if EMW is gone and they stay,
right,
it's either one of those edges, DDS or Ackus, or I think they just take a corner because there's really good corners.
Or do they start the run on tight ends? Could they go Oscar
I
Bell?
would rather them just take a really good corner than start the run on tight ends when there are so many tight ends they can get.
I mean,
or they move down.
If you feel convicted that a guy like Oscar Delp is the second best tight end in this class, I could see that.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see.
I would rather have maybe on Terrell.
I'm looking to see where are the potholes here for McNeil-Warren.
I think I'd rather have Pons as a fan of the story.
Carolina.
Pons is
Carolina at 51. Pons would be fun.
Carolina, yeah, they were
a Thieneman team.
The Thieneman team.
Yep. Oh, actually, but I think they're a Halsey team. I think that I had heard that they really liked Halsey, the safety from LSU. So I could see him going to Carolina at 51. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be interesting. I don't want to get my hopes up.
It's nice to see when Frank gets excited.
I want to get like inside 5 picks, and then we can.
You think it's a real possibility?
Who?
EMW.
Yeah, I think looking at this, yes.
Let's talk about the player.
Minnesota too. Minnesota because they didn't take a safety. Oh man, he's actually a great fit for Flores. McNeil-Warren would make a lot of sense in Minnesota.
Okay, tell us about the player.
All right, so Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. Tall, long safety, multi-dimensional skill set. This is a guy that can come downhill and defend the run. I think he does a really good job running the alley, making tackles one-on-one in space. He got better as his career went on. He had some missed tackles as a junior and then early on last year, but I think he really rounded into form there. What really stands out is the ball skills. This guy that can finish on the football. He reads things well as a post safety. Like if he's lined up in center field, reading on the football and making plays. I think at the end of the day, one of the things I also liked about him was that he also had tight end matchup ability because of his length and his movement skills. He's not like an elite athlete. People worried about what the speed was going to look like. He ran well enough, but not a big time mover there. Jeremy Bernard to the Steelers.
Yeah, that's a receiver.
So to me, when I'm looking at McNeil-Warren, the lone thing that gives me pause for this scheme split safety coverages, reading things out, like all that. I think that for me personally, and that's one of the reasons why I compared him to Grant Delpit. Grant Delpit is like modern day strong safety, roll him down to the box, play close to the line of scrimmage, match up on tight ends. It's kind of a defined role. Whereas with the Eagles defense, we know it's like kind of kaleidoscopy, right? It's like, all right, they're going to play, you're playing from that split safety shell, and it's cover 4, it's cover 6, it's cover 2, it's all the different coverages and all the different permutations of the coverages, and being able to read that out and pattern match and read what the offense is doing and anticipating. Like, there's a lot of thinking involved. I don't know that that's necessarily a strength in that role for McNeil-Warren. So that would be the one thing that would give me pause about him, fitting in this game.
And him and Makuba together, how would you like that pairing?
I think they'd complement each other well from a skill set standpoint. Yeah, because I think Makuba I look at as like your, new age free safety that can match up at times, and against smaller guys. And then I think with McNeil-Warren, he's more of like new age strong safety that can match up against bigger bodies because of his length.
If you had to guess, why do you think McNeil-Warren has fallen as far as he has?
I think probably one of the reasons that what I talked about in terms of like the defensive fit. I don't think he's a fit for every single defense. Yes.
Okay. Be interesting.
We have another like Eagles-y tie-in here. The Atlanta Falcons on the clock. Former Eagles executive Ian Cunningham making his first pick as general manager.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
I like Ian. And some of the Bears picks over the years, since he was there, were kind of not Eagles-y. So I'm curious to see if there's a diversion here from the way Ryan Poles ran things with Ian.
You know me. This is very exciting for me because
you got a new guy to follow.
Yes, exactly right. So my guess is that it will be very Ravensy, and he's off to a great start because he took my number 1 corner on the board. He took Avion Terrell.
Nice.
So Avion Terrell joins his brother in Atlanta.
That's
what a storyline. AJ Terrell, a corner with the Falcons. Very cool.
The story I can get behind right there.
Yeah, that's a cool story.
That's like a no-brainer for them.
Yeah, that's great. That's man. What's the example of? I guess the Watts just did it in Pittsburgh. Am I missing anything else recently? Oh yeah, they had the Herbigs. Yeah.
And the Haywards.
And the Haywards.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Who was that? What's his name?
Oh my gosh.
Shaq and Shaheem.
Yeah.
Thompson?
No.
Griffin.
Yes. Thank you.
Shaq and yeah. I'll tell you what. I had been looking at the Falcons in thinking about trade possibilities.
Okay.
Because of how deep they are in the secondary now. So with both Terrells, Xavier Watts, Billy Bowman, I'm wondering if Jesse Bates is a possible trade candidate.
Okay.
Post June 1.
Let's talk about it in a couple of picks. Let's see if Emmanuel McNeil-Warren's coming through the door.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Avion Terrell off the board. I think he could have tempted Howie. Just in terms of the grade sticking out. But okay. I think we should take our last break here because now we're getting really close.
Yep.
So yesterday we did that and they traded right up into the spot. So maybe we're making this happen. But we're going to take our last break of this second hour of night 2. Jermod McCoy, D'Angelo Pons, Caleb Tiernan, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, Deni Dennis Sutton, Gabe Akis, Oscar Delp, or a surprise. Stay tuned. I know you out there are trying to juggle a lot of different Eagles, Philly sports things going on. Okay, you got the draft tonight. Sixers are playing tonight. Flyers are playing tomorrow night. Good thing there's a place you can go where you can keep track of it all with other like-minded Philly sports fans. Talking, of course, about the #1 sports bar in America by ESPN, right here in the Delaware Valley, Chickies and Pete's. The best sports bar and the best crab house on the planet. So check this out. Every Friday from 4 to 6 p.m., Chickies and Pete's has ice-cold dollar drafts of Miller Lite for just $1. Yes, ice-cold dollar drafts only from Chickies and Pete's every Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. Restrictions apply. Visit chickiesandpete's.com for locations. And yeah, watch all the Philly sports teams. Doing great stuff at Chickies and Pete's. Have fun. Tell them PHLY sent you. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 whole years? That is the Xfinity's 5-year price guarantee. So much can change in 5 years. Makai Lemon, drafted last night. 5 years from now, he's going to be coming off the final year of his rookie deal. Who knows what kind of career he's going to have? You're probably going to be following that career on Xfinity Wi-Fi the whole time. Because what does Xfinity bring? All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense that lets you stream the game even when the whole family is online. So lock in your price today and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Tell them PHLY sent you. Lock in those 5 years.
Very good. Everyone in the chat, they're sending in the pictures of your twin screens. Philip Maddox got just phenomenal.
I figured that's what you were looking at. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal job.
Back in the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, presented by
the Fanatics app
and Ashley. And we're closing in.
Vikings are up now. This I would just keep an eye on McNeil-Warren.
That's why I was distracted, is because the Panthers are apparently on the clock at 49.
Oh, now maybe they're moving up to get McNeil-Warren. That makes sense.
Yep.
This could be Halsey.
Halsey?
Could be either one.
If you're the Eagles, who are you rooting for in that spot? Who would you rather go off the board, Halsey or McNeil-Warren?
I mean, I think Halsey is probably a better scheme fit. I can go either way.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a higher grade on McNeil-Warren. I had a higher grade on McNeil-Warren than I had on Thieneman last night. Like I really like the player. I
feel like it's McNeil-Warren. I feel like, or you're hoping McNeil-Warren makes it to you. I think it's a more of a value play. And, I like the traits with a player like McNeil-Warren.
Now, obviously, there's the Quinyon Mitchell connection, right?
Yep.
He was McNeil-Warren was a sophomore when Quinyon was a senior.
Yep.
He had, that was the year he finally began to be a starter.
Correct.
So there's a little. It's not quite the Terrell brothers, but
and the Eagles,
it's a little something.
Nick Sirianni will have good intel on him because he has a good relationship with former Toledo head coach Jason Candle. They will have a lot of information on the player and the prospect.
Okay.
If he makes it there.
What do you guys want? Let us know in the chat.
I think the chat.
There's some helium for Caleb Tiernan. I see.
For Tiernan,
yeah.
I like Tiernan.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a Howie Roseman type.
I think he's in the second round, right? Because he kind of reminded me of Jack Driscoll.
There's a little bit of Jack Driscoll there,
but
I
as
think
a day 3 guy.
All right, so the Vikings are taking another defense. Or no, it's Panthers that traded up. That's right,
Yeah.
with the Vikings. So the Panthers are taking Lee Hunter, the defensive tackle from Texas Tech.
Oh, that's
Really?
great news for the Eagles.
Great news for the Eagles.
Yeah.
No pass rush upside, just straight run defender.
I think he's got a little bit more rush upside, but it's similar to the kid from Kentucky last year that Zach loved. Yeah, Deion Walker, where he's supposed to be like this big, stout run defender, but he gets moved off the ball. He's kind of
some of the worst testing results in the jumps that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was
21 and a half inch
inches,
vert and 100 inches in the broad.
Yeah.
I mean, just don't test, my man.
I'm about to say, what are we doing at that point?
But it didn't seem to hurt his value. Yeah,
I'm surprised the Panthers took him
and traded up for him.
He doesn't strike me as a Panthers type.
Yeah,
let's see
setups.
Love the setups.
Oh
man,
what a flex that is!
There.
Yeah, this is like the
That's
ultimate.
What a flex! 5 TVs.
This is it. I
mean, that's the one that makes you laugh. We got the laptop and then an extra monitor of Steve Adazio.
Terrible boss.
Then this is a 5 screener too. We got 3 laptops. And then a nice 2 TV situation.
Is this like borrowing the kids' iPads?
Good looking fireplace there.
That is a nice fireplace.
Yeah, that 5 screen setup was awesome though.
Yeah,
keep sending those. Those are fun.
In the middle, I mean, to take the middle screen. What an option.
Appreciate that. Yeah, this guy emailed it to me too. Which respect.
Well, yeah, he doesn't.
Man, look at that.
A free laptop because he's got 5 screens.
He does have swoop. Yeah, maybe he's a big swooper fan.
Now, what is that underneath there? Is that like a like a soundproof thing? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Basement goals right there.
Zach Frayne, send your picture either to PHLY Eagles or EJ on Twitter.
Yeah.
Keep taking a look. I'm honestly a little bit surprised nobody included a lemon party in there, but that's.
We wouldn't have been able to show it if that's it.
All right. Closing in.
What are we? 3 picks?
No, not quite there yet.
No, they're still moving. Yeah.
No, Eagles are at 22, and with Lee Hunter off the board, we're at 18. So
Jets are up. This could be a D'Angelo Pons
5
pick.
spots to go.
This is a team I think could take. I actually gave them Pons last night.
Yeah.
Right, the Aaron Glenn of it all.
Let's like see Aaron Glenn.
Glenn actually, honestly, might see himself in Pons.
Yeah.
They could be. I was gonna say they could be a McCoy team too. They typically have been keeping it in the fairway from an injury standpoint. They did last year, so I think that Pons might be more that guy. But I would look for a third-year player, probably from a Power 5. That's what I would look at for the Jets. That was their MO a year ago. They stuck to that last night. Omar Cooper was a 4th-year junior, but no, still an underclassman. So I would look McCoy, Pons, Cisse, Muhammad. They all fit. Although I don't think Cisse would be their type. So I would look at the other 3 corners. I would look at C.J. Allen. I think that makes sense. Anthony Hill Jr. makes sense. Connor Liu makes some sense. That's my short list for the Jets here at 50.
Okay. So 5 spots. McNeil-Warren, McCoy, Dennis Sutton, Akis.
Yeah, this is good.
Maybe Oscar Delp.
Oscar Delp. Max Clare.
Exciting list. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Feel good.
Yeah, I think this round has turned out better than maybe we expected.
Yeah,
I mean, just the fact that McNeil-Warren is still on the board, I think surprises most people. Definitely surprises me.
Yeah, and I think if the Eagles are committed to taking like an offensive lineman, I think they should move down.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. I don't like the offensive line value for them here.
No,
Yeah.
For guys that are their kind of player. There we go. Pons gone.
Nice,
Jets.
good call.
Mm.
And you nailed that in the mock today.
Yep.
Very impressive.
That's a lot of fun.
I'm glad that you like protected your heart there a little bit. You didn't want to get your hopes
No,
up. You
fine.
were like, I can't.
Too many teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, that could be
Okay.
a Pons team. All right. So Pons off
All
the
right,
board.
so Terrell and Pons.
All right. So Vikings here again. I would look for EMW here. To me, so Kevin O'Connell and this coaching staff, they're running the show, and so I think this is like straight needs. They could double dip at D tackle. They took Banks last night. That would be a little surprising, but they could. I'd look receiver.
Mm-hmm. They could take Bell.
They could take Bell. I would look secondary, but especially he would be a really good fit for them. EMW would be a really good fit. I think that's my prediction. That's my prediction.
How do people feel about taking Jermod McCoy? Player with top 20 upside.
I am curious how fans would feel
you're embracing the potential long-term downside of a degenerative knee.
It's funny that we're sitting here because if you had told us going into this draft that the Eagles were going to make 2 picks and they weren't going to address the line of scrimmages, we would have been surprised by that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a very realistic outcome right now.
It is. I mean, it's not funny for the kid, but it's funny. Like as the buzz was building that Jermod McCoy was going to fall, everyone compared it to Will Johnson from last year, who the Cardinals took early in the second round, and it was like, oh yeah, but he won't fall that far. Like it'll be a little bit of a fall. He's fallen further. Yeah, because Johnson went early second round, and we're getting to the back end of it post.
I think that could.
I could see how he.
I mean, that would be hard to argue with, and that would also be the consensus board pick.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, I could definitely see how he's saying. So I got on the board. Yeah,
as long as their medical team gave the green light.
Right.
Which they've been willing to take those risks in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, Kobe Dean.
Why don't we make this a Rothman situation since we're talking about injuries and bring in the bounce back presented by our friends at Rothman. Tell us about the player, Jermod McCoy, and what the upside would be in him if he's healthy.
Yeah, big body corner with really good ball skills. The finishing ability was what really stood out from the 2024 film. Now, I want to say he had 4 picks that year, and 3 of them were like goal line fades. Like
Right.
it was just, he was just beat the guy up at the line of scrimmage, play in a phone booth, go up and attack the football. So it's not, those aren't like necessarily what I would say is the most translatable plays, but at the end of the day, I did see a starting corner in the NFL. I didn't see like a high level player. Like, in this class, I would have been fine with him in the top 20 if he was healthy. But I did see a starting corner. I compared him. You go into like the Deron Bland was my final comp, but you get into like those kinds of players where bigger body, win at the line of scrimmage, and attack the ball in the air and finish. That's really the skill set here for Jermod McCoy. The question is and it's right to me a rightful question that teams had for him throughout the course of the process. He tore his ACL immediately after the 2024 season. It was like they lost in the playoffs on the road to Ohio State in early January, and the following week or 10, 14 days later, he's working out at home, tears the ACL. So he's all right. So that's January. He gets to training camp. He's on the field practicing in training camp, starting to do a little bit. From what I understand, was cleared to go midway through the season to play. Tennessee was kind of having an up and down season, so didn't play. Which like that's decision that a lot of guys make. Was invited to the Senior Bowl, from what I understand, and said no. Was at the combine, had the ability to work out, was good. Told everybody he's going to work out, didn't work out. And then we said we're going to wait for the pro day. Now, blew the doors off the pro day workout from a testing standpoint. I heard mixed results on the position workout, but from a testing standpoint, was really good. But I think the question will be asked, like, hey, how come you didn't go? And for a team, and we talked about this, like that prioritizes like the whole like dog mentality of it all.
Yeah,
I think that will be a big question.
It's a fair, and to point to the Eagles' priorities is a fair thing to bring up.
No, I think that would be a hang up for them potentially. But depending on how he answers it, would be a hang up.
And yet they have taken players, especially in the second round, who have that upside paired with the potential downside of an injury.
Yeah, I would not personally compare this to this is a different thing to Sidney Jones. So the second round corner injury questions, I would say this is very different. I actually think there is something to be said for any player that misses a lot of time in their rookie year due to injury, where you are separated from the team. Like that is hard to overcome. That would not be the case here with McCoy. The Eagles get a break here at 51. The Vikings.
It's not McNeil-Warren.
It's not McNeil-Warren. It's a linebacker. So that's good because I don't think the Eagles were going to take a linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jake Golday from Cincinnati.
Interesting.
Who also that's a good fit for the Brian Flores scheme. Versatile player. Began his career as a pass rusher at Central Arkansas. Was productive. Transferred up. Ended up going to Cincinnati, and he played all over the field in that defense. Was like playing over the slot and playing down the line. Not as much off ball, and that's why I have a lower grade on him, just because I at that position, like the mental part of it, like seeing things from that level is very, very important, and he just wasn't asked to do that all that often. But very physically gifted player, and I think it's a good scheme fit.
All right, let's close the book on the Rothman bounce back as you got your Jermod McCoy breakdown.
Packers up now.
Packers up. 3 picks to go.
Yeah.
Could you imagine McNeil-Warren?
I can. I think it'd be really fun. I think it'd be a fun.
But how disappointed will Eagles fans be if he's on the board and they don't take him?
Depends on who they take. I mean, if it's denied Dennis Sutton, I think most Eagles fans would be okay with that.
Yeah.
I think that I speak for most Eagles fans with the excitement about denying Dennis Sutton.
I think
maybe it's an echo chamber.
Well, I have heard people. There were some people who wanted McNeil-Warren in round 1, which I think is I thought was too spicy and not what they would prioritize there. But I don't know.
It's an athletic secondary.
You got one?
Yeah, I nailed the Packers pick in my 7-round mock. Brandon Cisse, the corner from South Carolina.
Nice.
Love getting the later round picks in the mock draft.
He's so excited. I love that. We're very close to being on the clock. 2 away now.
Now,
Brandon Cisse.
We talked about this when the Colts were up originally, and then they traded out. Colts, I think you have to look at pass rusher here, and I think that denied Dennis Sutton potentially, Kieron Crawford, I think potentially, Deshaun Barham potentially, Romello Height. But if you want denied Dennis Sutton, this would be a team that you would watch out for. The height does feel like a little bit of a fit there. That would be fun to watch.
And then in terms of McNeil-Warren, they've got the Kenny Moore trade request just in terms of moving pieces in the secondary.
Right.
They made the move for Sauce Gardner. That's why they didn't have a first-round pick. Wanye Thomas and Cam Bynum, they're projected starting safeties. Possible.
And Ballard is not bashful about taking small school players. So that's, that would he could make sense for them. He can make sense. I think it's probably most likely a front seven. And I had been giving them linebacker early in the offseason, but I think this might be an edge rusher was my intel coming in.
Okay. Good intel. I mean, the guy's been all over the whole thing. Here we go.
Man.
You like a Brandon Cisse, who's going to the Green Bay?
Yeah, he man coverage corner. He honestly, the reason why I liked him so much to Green Bay, he reminded me a lot of Eric Stokes, and Stokes was a first round pick of the Packers. I think he fits a lot of what Green Bay's front office typically goes for, and I thought the value was really right there. So I put him there. I think I put him there last night, and I put him there in the mock I did last week as well.
Okay.
Just feels like a very favorable Eagles situation for Emmanuel McNeil-Warren to still be sticking out on the board here. I mean, maybe there's information that we don't know that's causing him to slide, but it feels like the type of situation that Howie Roseman dreams of.
Advantage. Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's McNeil-Warren, McCoy, DDS, Akis. I think it's one of those four. I don't think they would pull the Delp move.
Yeah,
with those guys on the board.
Right.
The only wild card that I'd throw in there is there another safety? They just
do they like Jalen Kilgore?
Jalen Kilgore was the name. Yeah, they had him in for a pre-draft visit. Could this be we trust our evaluation on a player more?
Yeah.
But I just think Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is going to stick out for them. I mean, we talked about it earlier, the consensus big board being something that they will take into account.
Seems like the chat is tilted EMW as well.
Yeah, EMW.
Yeah.
Let's see with the Colts here.
The people want EMW. It's a good nickname, EMW.
Would you call it a nickname?
I mean, it can be a nickname.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it as a nickname.
All right. You like a BMW?
I do. Yeah. Nice cars.
I mean, if they advertise,
free advertising.
Yeah, but not going to give it to him for free.
I like an EMW. He was I think he was probably my favorite safety I watched. I mean, he's my type of safety. Physical traits.
My early intel on the Colts was right. It was CJ Allen.
CJ Allen.
I think that's a good pick for them.
All right. Well, you know what that means.
Oh, and honestly, that's a great outcome for the Eagles. So it's not a pass rusher. So yeah, there you go.
This round has gone very well for the Eagles.
This round has gone well for the Eagles, which you could say, all right, if you have the opportunity to deal back and pick up some extra ammo, maybe you do.
Yeah, they could move back. They could move back 4 spots.
Yeah,
and get a 4th round pick or a 5th round pick and make that worth their while.
Yep.
I think that's very possible.
I had heard some buzz about Jacksonville trying to move up, but now they're only 2 picks away now, so they might not try and may not try and move up there.
Okay, well, you know what we're gonna do now. The Eagles are basically on the clock, so let's do On the Clock, presented by Ashley. Here we go. Who can it be?
It wouldn't shock me if it were Pregnon. I know you wouldn't like that. It wouldn't shock me if it were Pregnon.
Yeah, I would not like
I'm just looking at some of these other players.
Yeah.
You got the 2 safeties with EMW and Halsey.
Yeah.
All these corners on the board. Nussmeier is lurking.
If you're watching on TV, you're going to have to go away for a couple minutes. Stay with us. TV reset. Boom. Okay.
Like a race to see who can get it first. Yeah.
Very exciting.
What do you guys think?
I think it's going to be McNeil-Warren. I feel like this is just a very favorable outcome for him to be available for the Eagles. I would have considered him as a player that if they had more ammunition, they would have traded up for. So for that reason, I think he would be a good fit if they are willing to go safety here instead of a more premium position.
I think if a Jonathan Greenard trade is not inevitable,
they could go edge.
I think they would just take Akis. I think they would take Akis over Dennis Sutton.
Really?
Okay. That's just a guess. But if Greenard is definitely coming, I am not ruling out the McCoy possibility. I think they could have McCoy over
McCoy. Yep.
Those would be two value plays, and I think this is a spot.
Because I don't think that they would have. I don't know that they would have even thought that McNeil-Warren was a possibility.
But right. I mean, I'm sure that they.
I'm sure, yeah.
They trust their board there. Yeah.
There is a chance. Daddy Taco says if it's Emannuel McNeil-Warren, he's going to run around the block naked. So hopefully we get a video of that too.
Do it safely.
Do it safely.
Oh man, the pick is Eli Stowers.
Eli Stowers.
Oh wow! Eli Stowers
over Emmanuel McNeil-Warren.
Wow, that's going to close the book on the Clock, presented by Ashley. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, with their second round pick, the Eagles are drafting the super athletic Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt. Fran, what do you think?
So this is a converted quarterback. This is very much Howie Roseman coded, right? This is a guy that came into college as a 4-star quarterback recruit at Texas A&M, spent a couple years there as a backup in a crowded quarterback room, transferred to New Mexico State, where he started making the transition to the tight end position. And when he did that, they used him kind of like in a Taysom Hill role. They're going to give him some carries underneath and try and work him in. He was playing there with Diego Pavia, the quarterback who eventually transferred to Vanderbilt. The Stowers followed him to Vanderbilt, was extremely productive in 2024, went back to school, said no to the NFL. Let me go back, get another year of development. This is a guy that's got a lot of athletic upside. He tested through the roof, outstanding physical specimen. But he is a near zero as a blocker. Like he is not a good blocker. So this is goes a little bit against what Howie said earlier in the offseason about learning some of the changes and evolution at the position.
He lied.
He is an athletic mismatched player. Now he needs to get better as a route runner. There's still some development needed. There's still some seasoning required here with this player. But he is an athletic tight end that you're going to move around the formation. Developmental player, though, and he's a little bit older as a 5th or 6th year senior.
Will be 23 as a rookie.
Yeah.
6'4", 239. The testing results were insane. A 45.5-inch vertical jump, a 135-inch broad jump. Both of those are the best of the tight ends in the sample. He's an unbelievable athlete. Is he a tight end is a big question.
Yeah.
And EJ, the question here, I think, for Eagles fans is obviously they are rebuilding the group of pass catchers for Jalen Hurts. How much are they using their 1st and 2nd round picks now just to replace A.J. Brown leaving?
Yeah, I think that they needed to add dynamism on offense. I had said yesterday, I think that their plan A, B, and C was going to be to add blue chip players to this offense. And I think that Eli Stowers, I was a little bit higher on him than you guys. I didn't expect him to be a 2nd round pick for them here, I'll be honest. But I thought maybe there was a chance if he lingered that they would see the value in adding him later. But again, you're buying the upside here. You're buying the physical traits informing this guy being one of the tight ends that is a top 5, top 8 tight end. And the only argument I'll make is when you look at those top 5, top 8 tight ends in the NFL, they look like this guy. They look like superheroes. And I think if that is the pathway for him, if that's what you're selling yourself on, I can squint and see it. The fact that he is a 0 as a blocker, some teams viewed him as a wide receiver. That is, that contrasts with a lot of what we talked about with the tight end position for this offense. A combo tight end, a 2-way tight end, they did not add that in Eli Stowers.
Yeah, the looks like a superhero thing. The only thing I would push back on is he's at 239 pounds. That's lighter than everybody here.
But he moves exceptionally well at that size.
He looks like a receiver.
He's a bigger Trey Burton. Is like what I think you're like hoping for, right? Like he's a bigger Trey Burton.
But if you think about the basketball team analogy, right, for this receiving core, now that you have Makai Lemon, who is sort of your dominate over the middle of the field dirty work guy, Eli Stowers is now your ball winner on the outside in theory.
In theory, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Makai Lemon is flat out, full stop, a better blocker than Stowers is. I'm not even kidding. And he's like 30 pounds less. He's a better blocker than Stowers is.
I believe you. Maybe that's why they had to draft him.
Yeah.
Oh, man. EJ, the idea of
this is
how he's sitting there in February and telling us that he's got to reevaluate how he builds the tight end position and then using a second-round pick on Eli Stowers. I mean, come on.
I mean, it's a hard thing to square. I guess the argument would be they added Johnny Mundt. There's still time for them to add more, future long-term planning where you have a blocking tight end in the room. And that is what he was alluding to, is that they didn't have that option in the room. They didn't have that club in the bag from a roster building perspective last year. They didn't, like when Grant Calcaterra was struggling as a blocker, there was no one to turn to. So I can understand that,
That's
but
not really what he was saying.
I actually think the comments that Nick Sirianni had at the owners' meetings are harder to square with this, because he talked about you have a tight end that only is good as a pass catcher, having him on the field in obvious run situations or times where you're trying to be unpredictable. It makes you predictable. It does go against
against the Lemon pick. Because that's the idea with guys like Lemon is like,
how many guys are going to be moving around? Yeah.
And Makai Lemon, in theory, needs to be on the field in 11 personnel. Doesn't have to be, but that's how he's best used. And so that would mean if Eli Stowers is on the field, who's going to block?
Yeah, it is like a boy. Sean Mannion better be as good as you guys think he's going to be, because there's a lot of creativity needed for both of these guys. Neither of these guys are like line them up, go win.
It is also. I mean, it is the Moneyball thing. We got to recreate him in the aggregate. So the Eagles are going to trade A.J. Brown for what better be a windfall now, because the resources that they are using to replace A.J. Brown, not saying any of these guys is a one-for-one replacement, but what they are doing in terms of trying to replicate his production is using a first-round pick on Makai Lemon, a second-round pick on Eli Stowers, trading for Dontavian Wicks and signing him to a deal. Signing Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff that is coming at the expense of being able to address other things on the roster.
Yeah. I mean,
it's bold.
Two pass catchers at the top of the draft for him now.
It's bold.
Yeah.
On the other hand, they'll probably draft your boy Kaczmarek now, because they got to counterbalance it. They got to get like a dominant blocker.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a dirty work day 3 tight end. I think that they will. I think this pick makes it even more likely that they will double up a tight end. If they had drafted a Justin Jolie or an Oscar Delp, I don't know if I would have been as emphatic on they need to address this position further. But if they are trying to usher in a new nucleus on offense, Eli Stowers is the type of player that you have to account for, the liabilities that he will have in the blocking game.
Questions in the chat about why he's down. He's tight end 12 for me.
Yeah.
He is a one-dimensional player. He's a one-dimensional tight end, and he's still in that one dimension. He's only been playing the position for a couple years. He's not a fully finished product as a route runner yet. Like that, he is not at the most realized version of him is like Evan Ingram, right? Like in my mind, to me, like he's not Travis Kelce. Like he's not. You think of like these dominant. Like he's not Kyle Pitts. To me, he's not that level of player. And he's still got to get there, right? And to me, it's not a bet I would have made. Personally,
it's a bold pick. Let's go to the super chats to find out what the reaction from you guys is. Nepa says EJ's killing it in Duck Duck Juice. That's correct. He did dress wide receiver tight end 1-2. Reverma, problem last year was not the skill group. That's a fair point.
That is a very fair point.
David Collins,
that's actually a really good point.
Just joining. How happy is EJ? EMW heartbroken.
I feel
you like a Stowers, but
yeah, I like Stowers. I remember bringing it up. I think it was my initial mock. Now I'm not taking credit for this. I'm just stating a fact.
I understand.
It was my initial mock that I did with Fran, where I had Stowers, and I will be honest. Once I watched all the prospects, I didn't have Stowers anymore.
And then some earlier ones. Max Aurelius says, "What's more likely, the Eagles taking Orange on day 2 now that they already have Lemon, or any team trading us anything for Jacorian Bennett?" From a true sicko from Santa Monica. Shout out to Max Aurelius, who also wants to know if the Eagles trade for Kayvon Thibodeau now that he looks like the odd man out in New York. We talked about that earlier. Orange and Lemon would be fun.
That'd be very fun.
Not the kind of player they need, unfortunately.
No, he'd be he's behind Jordan Davis, right?
Yeah. Ooh,
yeah.
We have a trade.
Okay.
Adam Schefter reports I have to get it. I'm sorry. The Eagles are trading for Jonathan Greenard.
Wow.
I have to get the compensation.
Wow.
3rd round pick tonight.
Which third?
A third tonight?
98.
98
sending
And
tonight.
and a 3 next year.
Ooh.
So 2 threes.
Two threes for Jonathan
98
Greenard.
tonight and a 3rd round pick next year.
And they're extending him.
4-year, $100 million extension that includes $50 million fully guaranteed. So you got 25 a year.
Let's reset here. Okay.
Yep.
You ready, Lindsay? The Eagles are trading for Jonathan Greenard, sending a 3rd this year, number 98 overall, and a 3rd next year to the Minnesota Vikings for Greenard, who had 24.5 sacks in the 2 seasons prior to this year when he dropped back down to just 3 sacks, and signing him to a 4-year, $100 million deal. Fran, what do you think?
Look, he's a good player with a track record of being a good productive player in the league. He is a 2-dimensional player in that he can both defend the run and get after the quarterback. He can win with power and speed. Got technique. He's a little bit older. So in my opinion, I think you're giving him a big contract here, a little bit on past performance. My guess is by the time you get to the end of this deal, he's going to be on the downward slope. But again, this is a guy with a proven track record. To me, like instantly becomes their most reliable pass rusher.
Yeah, I think this is the number 1 edge rusher that you felt like that room needed. And, because this has been something that's been on our radar for honestly a little bit over a month, the thing that I kept hearing about him is that he is a good fit for a Vic Fangio defense. The playing style, the versatility that he has make him an ideal fit. That play personality is a big thing for this Eagles defense, and I think he fits what they want at that position.
He will be 29 this year, to your point, Fran. Now joins Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt as the top 3 on the edge. You've got Arnold Ebiketie there to mix in. It's interesting to follow how this started with the Jalen Phillips trade, right? You send a 3rd for Jalen Phillips. He leaves, signs that monster deal with the Carolina Panthers. You're expecting that will lead to a 3rd round pick next year.
Yeah.
But now you're trading another 3rd in conjunction with whatever that other 3rd is. So you've basically traded 2 3rd round picks for half a year of Jalen Phillips and now Jonathan Greenard.
Right.
Yeah, that is the correct framing. Yeah, because that future 3rd will cancel out with the comp pick.
And you're getting some compensation back in terms of A.J. Brown in a few weeks.
98 was also a comp pick, for the record.
That's true.
These are all comp
That's
picks.
the
that
Milton
they're
Williams pick.
Right,
Yes.
so it's kind of...
In terms of, who knows how long Vic is going to be here, but in terms of a fit for Vic, how does Greenard look?
I think because of the versatility and the ability to win in multiple ways, this is not a designated pass rusher type. He's got a rugged play personality. He's going to be able to hold up on all 3 downs. And so I do think it's a good scheme fit. Now, again, because he's a little bit older, we talked about it earlier in the show. I don't want to be disingenuous about it. Like, to me, you were kind of caught in the middle where it's like, if you're going to pay that much, you're going to get into $100 million range. Like, you got Max Crosby there that's a little bit above that, and I think that the tier of player is separate there. Or you go a little bit lower, and you're getting pennies on the dollar, and you get Thibodeau, and maybe the arrow's still pointing up there. So, but look, like I said, proven track record. This is something that was clearly done.
This is something that has been in the works, and that means that they have done a lot of homework on the player and the person.
That's all done.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I think the contract was the hang up. 100 over 4 years for me. I mean, I would have expected it to be a little bit higher for Jonathan Greenard. So I think it's a decent extension for them, even though, as Fran stated, you are kind of paying for the past performance there. It's been a tough market for edge rushers. I mean, that's why Jalen Phillips is in Carolina.
It's also, obviously the Eagles wanted to re-sign Jalen Phillips, so they were prioritizing having another ace guy on the edge.
Right.
They weren't going to do that in round 1.
So that's probably the
2.
argument against the pennies on the dollar, Kayvon Thibodeau type.
Right.
And also drafting somebody on day 2. And then with Max Crosby, even if he were available, I don't think the Eagles would have wanted to trade a more premium pick than the or a 3rd round pick that can be canceled out by a compensatory pick, especially with how much volatility they'll have next year, which is something you've talked about, Fran. You're not trading your 1st or your 2nd round pick in 2027 for that type of player,
No.
I feel like.
Interesting.
Now, they still have 68 tonight, so it's not like they're done. I honestly would expect them to trade out of 68.
Yes, I would think
to try and recoup some picks.
I would think so, because otherwise they're not picking until round 5.
Yeah, I think you move out of 68 to recoup some picks. I like the trade for him. I do. I feel like I've been spending this whole offseason talking that they need that top of the depth chart edge rusher.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Greenard represents that to me.
All right, so the Eagles acquiring Jonathan Greenard from the Minnesota Vikings just minutes after drafting Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt. Stay with us. Much more to come on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Let us know in the chat what you think about the Greenard trade. If you have been in chronic pain, or you just picked up a brand new injury, you're a little bit nicked up, don't need to be a hero. Don't feel like you got to tough it out. Instead, get it looked at by the experts at Rothman Orthopedics. These are the same specialists trusted across the region to treat everything from joint pain and back issues to sports injuries and fractures. Whether it's something that's lingered for months or something that happened this week, the good folks at Rothman have you covered. And with Rothman's fast scheduler, you can connect with their VIP scheduling specialists for your specific issue, saving time and getting you on the path to recovery faster. And don't forget about Rothman Now, a convenient way to access expert virtual orthopedic care when you need answers promptly with guidance from the same trusted team. Stop living with pain. Alleviate the pain. Go to rothmanortho.com/PHLY and book with Rothman Orthopedics today. That's ROTHMANORTHO.com/PHLY. If the heat and humidity is sneaking in and you got a little trouble going on with the HVAC or the AC is not cranking like it should, don't you worry your pretty little face. Because Ace Hardware Home Services has got you covered. Just like a good corner. Just like Quinyon Mitchell, they've got you covered. From AC repairs to water heaters, plumbing, and electrical, their trusted local pros bring the same helpful service you know from Ace right to your home. Whether it's a quick fix or a bigger summer project, they've got the tools, the know-how, and most importantly, as far as I'm concerned, the people to get it done right. Ace Hardware Home Services, bringing helpful to your home. Visit acehardwarehomeservices.com today to get started. That's acehardwarehomeservices.com today to get started. And please, tell them PHLY sent you. We love our friends at Ace. Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast. What a moment. What a run we have here going on as Howie Roseman making his presence felt on night 2 of the NFL draft. We can clean up on some of the picks that have come after.
Yeah.
But let's stick on the Eagles
let's do that
for a little bit.
Yeah.
Listen, draft night is all about being excited. Eagles fans should be excited. There's upside with these players. I'm just thinking about this is reductive. And this is not how football works. All of these young players have a chance to get better. But the resources that have been spent now replacing Jalen Phillips with Jonathan Greenard and replacing A.J. Brown with Makai Lemon and Eli Stowers, like the on-paper way that the roster has gotten better this offseason is Reek Woolen and the offensive line getting healthy.
Right. Which the latter is very important. And the latter could dictate a lot. And then obviously the coaching staff.
And the coaching
staff.
Once again, it all comes back to
yes.
So much seems to hinge now
Yep.
on this offensive scheme. And that being a real difference maker.
Yep.
I mean,
John Mannion is the most important person in the building.
But isn't it fair to say that in the draft, you're not necessarily trying to boost your championship window? You're not trying to open it further this year. I think that this is kind of a natural transition that Howie Roseman talked about, which is they need to usher in a new nucleus on the offensive side of the ball that they can start to build around as the defensive side gets more expensive. I think that Makai Lemon and Eli Stowers represent the beginning of that building process. And whether those picks pan out is really going to determine if the Eagles can continue this success. It's something we talked about earlier in the show. You know, having a run like this in the draft, it's rare and it often does come to an end. But they have to flip it to the other side of the ball, and they have to get these picks right again to kind of keep this team, as much of a contender as they are right now.
Okay,
it's a long-term thing. Yeah.
We'll see how it works.
Do you think there's a chance that they announce Stowers as a receiver, not a tight end?
Oh, that'd be fun.
How would you feel about that?
A.J. Brown replacement.
Honestly, you could probably swing me on it better, more. But, yeah.
They should just announce
the Johnny Wilson replacement.
Offensive weapon. Quick note on the Jonathan Greenard trade.
Yeah.
The Vikings announced it as a 3rd-round pick. The Eagles announced it as a 4th-round pick.
Okay.
My reading between the lines here.
For 2027.
Yeah, for 2027.
Okay.
So my reading between the lines here is that it's a conditional pick.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe there's a sack incentive there or some, maybe snaps played. I don't know what it will be.
Okay.
But that would be my guess there.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Pressure incentive.
Make a playoff attempt. Snap
A good
play,
segue.
playoff.
Could be that. Yep.
To one of the picks made, maybe. Things that Bo hates.
Yeah, let's talk about the picks that have been made since the Eagles drafted Eli
Sure.
Stowers. Patriots trading up.
Got to get rid of those day 3 picks for tomorrow.
Yeah, you can't be having him there. So
No.
Gabe
So
Backus.
they take Gabe Backus right after the Eagles go. So Gabe Backus, physical pass rusher, fits Mike Vrabel, like that whole mind. That does not shock me whatsoever. And then the Jaguars make their first pick of the 2026 draft, and they take the 6th-year senior tight end Nate Borkacher from Texas A&M. My tight end 3 or 4,
Yeah,
something like that.
4.
Yeah, tight end 4.
Yep.
Yeah, like to me, he's an every down tight end. He's got the ability to be an every down tight end. So
For as long as he lasts.
player.
Yeah, I mean,
and then Logan Jones, the center from Iowa,
Another old.
goes to the Chicago Bears, who lost Drew Dahlman this year in surprise retirement. So they get their center of the future here in the second round.
all right. So the Eagles.
Then Cleveland traded up. Actually, Cleveland's here at 58, and this could be McNeil-Warren.
Okay.
And it is. It's McNeil-Warren.
It is?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. The Eagles now 10 picks away from what would be their last pick in a long time if they stay there.
Yeah.
We'll see if they are able to move down.
I got an Eli Stowers note for you from the draft guide if you want it.
Please.
Maybe.
Only 10 players have this is Fran's work, so he's going to know this.
Yeah.
Only 10 players have had a better yards per route run than Eli Stowers in college football. Harold Fannin Jr.
This is in their over the career or the final season?
Career,
Okay.
yes. Harold Fannin Jr., Dallas Goedert, Adam Troutman, Brock Bowers, Harrison Bryant, Caleb Wilson, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, Gerald Everett, and Kyle Pitts. Good company. Pretty good company. Yeah.
Good company.
So he checks your
Look,
box.
there's
from a
real upside here.
productivity standpoint.
I actually think that he and Lemon, the theory of both of them, I think they pair well together. Saving the like formation giveaway aspect.
And
of
there's
it all.
just it's a lot
The
of work.
Where they win is in different places.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's a lot of work for Mannion to feature both of these guys, and they have to
But nobody works harder.
that they're worthy of preaching. Yeah, you're right. They're worthy of featuring. They have to be the types of players that you want to spend all week figuring out how are we going to get these guys into space.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that I like it. I like the Stowers pick because of the physical traits. It's like if you're going to get a guy in space, he should be explosive and fast and bigger than the people that have to tackle him. Makai Lemon is more of the intangible stuff. But I think that they are complementary in that way. You're right.
The Howie tight end of it all is very funny.
It's very funny.
And I agree with Howie Roseman, the way that he has always approached it. I would rather chase the guys who are difference makers in the pass game than overvaluing blocking, because I think it can be taught. Now, not always, but the idea of him coming out of last season and being like, "Hey guys, like I got to go to tight end rehab. Like I got to find blockers," and then he comes back and he's just like he's snorting tight ends who can't block just in front of everybody.
I mean, it's a Johnny Mundt signing. We're not going to erase
Johnny Mundt signing is covering for everybody.
It's like the Band-Aid holding together everything.
Johnny Mundt behind Sean Mannion is now the second most important person in the building. He's holding everything together.
Just got an
He's a great tester. The yards per route run production stuff. There are reasons that he would be high on an analytical model.
Yeah.
Who knows how they can factor in blocking there.
Important distinction. Eagles reported the trade wrong. So it is a third round pick, a future third that they are sending to the Vikings. Not conditional. Just wanted to clear that up.
Oh, they
I can't reveal how I found out, but yes, it is a third round pick.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. 2/3 and a big contract. That's
not
spicy.
nothing. Yep. Not nothing.
Do you think it is reflective of like the running the cost for that type of edge rusher right now? That's my read on it. It's that it's.
Do you think that
like they got priced out of Jalen Phillips for a reason? It's just hard to find these types of guys.
$25 million. I mean,
would you think that they would have
re-sign
made
Jalen
this
Phillips at
move
that number?
if they really loved Nolan Smith?
Oh, that's a fair question. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, if you feel like Nolan Smith is your number one edge rusher,
Then you wouldn't.
then the Kayvon Thibodeau scenario makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
It's like we can find another, we can hope that Arnold Ebiketie gives us enough, and all of a sudden you're trying to build out the bottom of that depth chart. I think the fact that they were aggressive to build out the top of it does tell you where they think Nolan Smith falls on that.
I also think it's totally fair to be like, holy smokes, are they stacked on defense?
Yeah.
Just personnel-wise. I mean, Greenard, Hunt, Smith, very good top
Good
three.
trio. Yep.
Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Amoro Ojimo, Zach Bond, Jahad Campbell, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and Reek Woolen. And get to safety, and there's some hope there.
It makes me feel like, man, I really wish they had just drafted McNeil-Warren. That would have made their defense. Yeah, we'd be talking about the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah, you got to go and talk.
Yeah,
Harris.
I'm going to go do CHGO, talk a little center. I'll be
And
back.
another tight end goes off the board. Marlon Klein from Michigan.
Man.
Very surprising. As a second-round pick to the Texans.
We're probably going to see
tight end run has started. The Eagles did start the tight end run.
with Eli Stowers.
Right.
Man. Listen, they've been trying to address this for a few years now. It always gives me some pause, though, when the Eagles start a run at a position with a player that is not the consensus tight end 2 or safety 2, whoever it may be. I mean,
now,
it's very
consensus big board-wise, Stowers was the number 2 tight end.
That's a good point.
We were expecting him to care a little bit more about the blocking, but
yeah, no, Stowers, you are correct. Stowers was tight end 2. Max Clare was
so
3.
It's
Oscar
different than
Del 4.
Makuba from last year.
Yeah, but still, it is a specialist type of situation, and I'm the one that's actually more into this than you are. So I am kind of talking out of both sides of my mouth here, but yeah, it always gives me pause when you start the run at a position.
Oh, I mean, I like to start a run. I think that's it means you've timed it well and you're getting your choice of the group. But
I mean, it's a crowded tight end class. Like,
here's what I would say though: if they like Eli Stowers, there's
really.
no one else like Eli Stowers.
You know what?
It would have been worse to start the run, and it's Forkature or Oscar Delp or guys who you could like, but there are other guys like that. There's no one else like Eli Stowers, and so if they like him, this is your only chance to get a guy like that.
So that was when we did the tight end scouting series, I said, give me Eli Stowers over Max Clare. Because if you're talking to me about a tight end that has like a 15-20% chance of being serviceable as a blocker,
that's totally fair.
I think then you want to push your chips into the receiving threat that a tight end can offer you. And I do think Eli Stowers is that player. You have to be creative with a guy like him. Like the first 2 picks that the Eagles have made make it almost a foregone conclusion. They cannot run Nick Sirianni's offense next year.
Oh, yeah.
They can't run. And that's not to say that Nick Sirianni doesn't have value in the building, but just the philosophy that he has on offense, which is line them up and let your players win their one-on-one matchups. They have to create advantages for these types of players. Makai Lemon and Eli Stowers are not the A.J. Brown type where it's like against man coverage, if it's single high, easy. We have the answers to the test. We make you wrong every time. They're going to have to create favorable situations for these guys.
Eli Stowers, though, is an archetype that Jalen Hurts is comfortable with.
Throw it up.
Throw it up.
Yeah.
He's going to go get the ball. Like that will be less of an adjustment, I think.
Yeah, but he's not. I mean, are they going to play him outside the numbers enough where that really is? Because again, I think if you're trying to like envision like how does the Eagles offense return to that 2024 form, it is the offensive line getting healthier and the run game becoming dominant enough that you are seeing more single high safety looks. And then it is Jalen Hurts taking advantage. He throws one of the best deep balls in the NFL, taking advantage of the space outside the numbers. They don't necessarily have the guys to like really like double down on that. It's going to have to be creating leverage for your athletes, your Devontae Smiths, your Dontavian Wicks, and I think Makai Lemon in certain situations. You're going to have to create space for them in other areas of the field. You're not just throwing it to them downfield. I get what you're saying about Stowers, but that's like, I think he's going to be good for like those seam shots that Jalen will take to like Dallas Goedert. I don't know if they're going to line him up outside the numbers all that much.
I think they will. I don't think they will try to get him outside sometimes.
You think so?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, that's where he won a lot in college. Some of his best plays are coming down the sideline.
Could they? Let me see have they listed him yet? Have they called him a tight end?
Fair question.
Yeah, let me see.
Anthony Hill Jr. goes off the board to the Tennessee Titans, the linebacker from Texas.
You know what?
Happening.
I don't see a position on the graphic that they put out with Eli Stowers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Let me see what they did with Makai Lemon. Let's see.
Brandon's just bringing the energy.
No, you know what they did? They listed him as a tight end.
Okay.
Yep, they did. The Eagles listed him as a tight end. It was Vanderbilt that didn't list him as a position.
Got it.
Let's see if I can find Makai Lemon just for.
Eli Stowers, man. And Jonathan Greenard.
They just can't be normal. They can't just take the pick you expect. But honestly, sometimes
You know what? I regret. We should have considered this as a possibility more. I think that's on us.
In the lead up, yeah, we had Emmanuel McNeil-Warren in our eye, but
Yeah, no, but I know.
I had Stowers in
did you have him?
East of the Kingdom, is it? No, that's no.
And Owl, you know? Did you?
Owl, oh, I went 0 for 2 on that one. I think I had Stowers, yeah, because I
let's take a
said
look.
there was a chance that he'd fall and that they would say, you know what, we're taking this
That's
guy.
a good pick if you had him.
Yeah,
You did take him.
I had him.
Nice job, EJ.
Yeah, thank you. And that was I was terrified for all the games.
Good for you.
Max Clare goes off the board. The Rams took him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me,
this tight end run.
give me Eli Stowers over Max Clare.
I don't think that that's a bad take.
Yeah. This is like the inverse of like, he's got a chance to stick a tackle. Like, this is like, if he has a chance, a slim chance at being able to be a combo tight end, I'd rather just have the guy I know is going to be dynamic as a pass catcher.
Okay. It's interesting.
It's fun. It's going to be fun to watch this guy in training camp.
I was just thinking that as well.
It's going to be
It's going to be more interesting to watch him in training camp than Lemon almost.
Yeah, receivers can be tricky in training camp. And honestly, I mean, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and Tyree Jackson, like, these are the guys that are supposed to dominate training camp. Like, they should be awesome in training camp. So, he should have a.
And you know what? Even beyond that, like in the spring, when we see these guys in a month,
it's gonna be the goal.
Eli Stowers better look awesome.
Yeah,
because this is like he better win now. In this situation, in shorts.
Yeah, you're right. Like rookie camp, OTAs. Even I'm just like, I want to see him tomorrow. I want to see how he's built. Because some teams worked him out as a receiver. And if he's never going to have a pathway to being a two-way tight end, which honestly, with Fran's scouting report, he probably won't. I am curious how he looks. If he can at least, because I think the Eagles are probably going to sell that he can eventually be a two-way tight end.
He's going to work on it. Yeah.
Not the finish.
We're here to develop him. Yeah. Oh man, Stowers, Greenard, fantastic. Do we have any super chats, Lindsay? No. Thanks a lot, guys. By the way, we're still raising money for Big Brothers Big Sisters, the big draft. You see the donation button there as you're watching the show. We're over 2,500. It's pretty awesome. So,
man, look at that. Yeah. Appreciate you guys.
Good stuff. Where are we at breaks-wise, Lindsay? I've lost track. We have 2 more. Well, let's hit one now. Stay with us. The Eagles' pick at 68 is approaching.
Oh, it's fast approaching.
Not very far off at all. We are only at 62 right now, so we better
get happening.
We better get this break in because the Eagles could be on the clock again. Man. Stay tuned. I got a little birdie in the Chargers draft room, and he told me that they were on the clock and they were getting ready to pick Keldrick Falk, and then this guy sort of waddles over to Jim Harbaugh. He's like, "Hey Jim, you gotta take Mesidor. He's ready to go. He's 25 years old. We'll make it happen." And Jim's like, "That's a good idea, Ray. Thanks for being so shady." And that's not the Shady Ray we're talking about. No, we're talking about Shady Rays, the great sunglasses company, where you get high-quality shades and great customer service. Because if you lose them or break them, even on day one, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. So now you can actually wear your sunglasses without fear on hikes, at concerts, on the boat, wherever. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back and your eyes. Go to shadyrays.com and use code PHLYSR for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Do you really want E.J. Smith returning punts? No, not worth the risk. Guy gonna get blown up out there. No chance. It's not worth the risk. Plus, with the amount of money we're paying him, it's not worth the time. It's not worth the money, and it's not worth the time. He's not going to make the show on time. He's going to be in the hospital. You keep your stars focused on what they do best. And the same idea applies to your business. For small and mid-sized businesses competing with bigger companies, it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. With competition heating up, you can't afford to fall behind, and that's where Togo comes in. Togo streamlines your operations by handling customer service, accounting, order management, logistics, admin, data entry, and even complex multi-step processes without the cost of building it all in-house. Programs start as low as $1,000 a month and are built to scale without breaking the bank. Visit harnesstogo.com and mention PHLY for a free operational assessment. Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, Bo Wulf and EJ Smith. Fran Duffy will join us in just a moment. Eagles, 6 picks away from being back on the board. You think they will definitely try to move down?
I mean, definitely no, but I mean they are low on picks now. What do they have? 4 or 5 picks? Because they moved 1.
Right.
So no, they're at 5 picks. Like
They have 3 picks left.
Yeah, I think they have to move out.
If they keep this pick, 68, they would not pick again until 178 in the 5th round. So that would be 110 picks away. And
they
then
picked
after
up
that,
the 7th in the Greenard trade. So they have 6 picks.
Oh, this year?
Yeah,
picked up this year, Greenard?
Yep. Yeah, 224,
Oh.
I believe.
Well, now we're cooking.
Move up.
Let's go.
That's Howie Roseman again.
224. Okay, I like this trade now. That's
This
good.
changes
I
everything.
wanted to make sure we had a pick in the 7th round. Unlike you trying to just race ahead. No, I want that 7th. Okay.
Changes the whole
Boom.
whole
We don't have to move
complexion of
down
the
now.
trade. Changes the whole.
What I do think
complexion.
about this is their, aside from veteran trades, which are certainly possible.
Yeah.
I think safety, if they don't draft a safety here, is something to keep an eye on. But if they don't, this is their last chance to really, address the roster in a non-dice rolling way.
Yeah, I agree. And that for that reason, if they do stay, I feel like it's probably for an offensive lineman.
I think if they stay, it has to be either offensive line or safety, if there's a safety that they like.
Even if it's safety to me, I went through this.
Yeah.
When I did.
I don't disagree with
When
you.
I did my final mock draft for allphly.com, I didn't have them addressing the offensive line until the 4th round.
Yeah.
And I had them addressing it on day 3 pretty heavily. Still just didn't feel good about it. Like I slept on it, woke up the next morning after I published that mock draft and said, if they don't address the offensive line until like Jude Bowery in the 4th round, I don't feel great about that for them. Based off of what their needs were at the end of the season and the way that the offensive line looked, they've got legitimate question marks, and I think this is probably their last chance to really address it, as you said.
Yeah. Now Pregnon's still on the board if they wanted to go interior. And then I'm holding some space for Jermod McCoy. There's a little bit of Nakobe Dean.
Yeah, there is.
There?
Yeah.
But different types of, for the reasons Fran was talking about. Nakobe Dean was a dog. Everybody knew that
absolutely.
That guy, loved ball, lived ball. There is that question now about McCoy in addition to the knee concern.
Yeah, I think with Nakobe Dean, like the personality is hard to separate from it. So, but to your point, the Eagles have been willing to make those value adds on day 2 and day 3 when a player slides because of injury. So I wouldn't rule it out, but again, it just feels like if you're going to go pass catcher in your first 2 picks, offensive line is just sticking out like a sore thumb. I mean, like there's always a scenario, like you said, where you can add a Makai Becton a few days after the draft.
Mm-hmm.
But even just like long-term planning, you'd think that they'd want to address that spot, especially even, I think in the interior, even more so at this point. Like you're not going to find a tackle that's replacing Lane Johnson in 2 years at this point.
No.
And it's a long shot.
No, you're going to replace Fred Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. You're probably looking for a Fred Johnson replacement. I think you could probably find an interior lineman that has a pathway to playing earlier. So if you like that guy more.
Davison Igbanason, right name. The Ohio State corner goes off the board to the Buffalo Bills at 62, only 2 picks left in the 2nd round.
I can't believe that the Eagles are almost back on the clock. So much has happened.
I know. And then
Exciting.
if they pick there, we're going to be off for a while.
We have a lot to talk about. We got a lot to unpack.
I know, that's right.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
We got a lot to talk about.
I thought you meant personal stuff.
You tell me.
No,
Wanna
all
unload on
draft.
anything? You got anything to say?
Sixers only down 4. That's what I would talk about.
How deep in the game are we?
We're in the 4th quarter.
No.
Yeah.
Wow, already?
A lot's happened.
This night is flying by. Lindsay, I sent you a couple setups.
Mm.
Okay.
I have a couple
Take
too.
that for a sec.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, maybe buy us a little time. I'll send
Yeah,
them.
this is very exciting. Oh, baby. Chargers on the clock. They took a 37-year-old last night. I wonder if there's someone older they can take.
There are, Emmanuel Pregnon.
Yeah.
Another old.
Geriatric. That's what they call it when someone that old is pregnant.
Emmanuel Pregnon is like, maybe I'll get drafted by the Eagles. I'll turn on the PHLY Eagles show. And he's got it on for like his whole family. And you're just making jokes about his last name and how he's old.
Geriatric pregnancy.
Yeah, now he turned the show off.
Some confusion in the chat about the Jonathan Greenard compensation. The Eagles tweeted it incorrectly. It is a third this year, number 98 overall, and a third next year.
Correct.
Not a fourth.
With a seventh coming back to the
with a seventh coming back. Ho, 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 ho.
Maybe that's Uar Bernard. Maybe that's the pick they'll use.
No, Uar.
Be good for me.
How you know?
How you know?
Yeah. Fantastic. Oh, let's check out these setups from Sickos.
This is awesome.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, Phillies too. They got Phillies on the laptop, us on the big old screen, and Sixers on the lower screen.
What is that comfy looking piece of furniture on the left? We think that's a couch, or we think that's like
on the left? I think that's a love seat.
Okay.
Type deal. Couch on the right. Now I don't know if the person is sitting in another part of a couch or if they're just standing. I like to look at that lamp too.
Yeah, it's a nice room. Good vibes in that room.
Good vibes in that room.
Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's a good one.
Yeah.
3 screens across the side.
TVs.
Now, what is on the board there? Is that like draft board?
Oh, that's got to be his draft board.
Oh,
who sent that one, Lindsay? Was that me? Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Looks great.
I like that. And now I wonder if that's their
Real
personal
football guy.
board or if they're following the picks and writing.
Maybe it's Fran's board. Could be Fran's board.
Possible. Oh, interesting. Real
Man,
psychedelic vibe.
lighting.
Is this person in bed?
It does look like he's in bed.
It looks like they're in bed, right?
But
2 TVs in the
now,
room.
there are going to be people in the chat that say TV too high. Guys, it's 2020.
No, but they're tilted down too. So that's I like the bed setup, although I risky to send us a picture from your bed.
It was a little risky, but I love it.
Risque.
I appreciate all you guys sending these in. That's we appreciate
fantastic.
you spending your night with us, and I am going to humbly ask you to like the video. Help us out a little bit as we go through all the picks and give you an Eagles perspective on all this stuff.
The Chargers drafting an offensive lineman.
Is it Pregnon?
It is not.
They're not expecting.
It's Jake's laughter. Jake Slaughter, the center from Florida.
I was about to say I don't remember watching him. I didn't watch a lot of the centers. That's hand up on me.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta compartmentalize. How many picks away?
We're 5 picks away. 64 Seahawks on the board.
Not to give you too many Sixers updates.
Okay.
They are leading 85-84 with 9 minutes left.
Ooh.
Man, what a moment in Philadelphia sports happening right now.
Bernard.
All these things happening all at once.
What's going on? Should I peep the box score? Like, is it a Maxi night? Is it an Edgecombe night?
I have a group chat text that says Maxi, I love you. So I'm sure Maxi just did something Maxi like. Yeah, this is a big multiple screen night.
Big multiple screen night.
Appreciate you guys spending it with PHLY.
Maxi's got 29.
29
points, yeah.
I love that guy, man. I love young nucleus that the Sixers have in place here. That's what the Eagles are trying to build on offense.
Edgecombe, 5 for 16, 0 for 6 from 3. He's due.
Yeah, I would say he was hot the last game. So he can have one of those. It's all good.
Very exciting. What a night.
Man. It's like Bud Clark just went off the board of the Seahawks.
Oh. I'm surprised by that. He wouldn't have struck me as a Mike McDonald type.
Yeah. I mean, they just keep adding to that secondary.
Yeah.
I do think if the Eagles do use a high pick on a safety, even at this point, I can get behind the argument like you have to have one of the best secondaries in the NFL to compete in the playoffs at this point. With the way offenses are, how much motion there is, how much They're trying to put you in disadvantageous positions. You need versatile and physical players all across the secondary. You can't have weak links. So I like that.
Okay. 4 picks away.
Who are we hoping?
Who are?
Let us know. Let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
Who you're hoping for? Who's still out there that you have your eye on?
Deny Dennis Sutton's still out there. I think probably not going to happen given the Greenard trade.
Yeah, it's just a lot of resources to put into the edge rusher position, but
AJ Halsey if you want a safety.
Yeah.
Jermon McCoy if you just want value. Malik Muhammad is a good fit for Vic, I think. Do they just go with another tight end, another one who can block, and you've just completely remade
I don't know
the entire room?
You've got the whole draft.
Yeah.
To go get yourself Cody Hardy or Will Kazmarek.
Well, yeah, they're not going to get draft Cody Hardy in the 3rd round, but yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you do that on day 3.
That
would be great for me because he's kind of a specialist.
I like Jalen Farmer. I'd be okay with Jalen Farmer here.
I like Jalen Farmer a lot.
I like Markel Bell.
You could probably get too cute trading back and trying to get perfect value for a player like him.
Now, Caleb Tiernan still hasn't gone. Caleb Tiernan still has not gone. So that's a possible one.
If they draft Jalen Farmer, I would pencil him in as a starting right guard next year. I really like him.
I like him a lot.
I think he is a fit for what they want to be.
I feel like he's maybe the player in the draft that you and I agree about the most.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot to like with him.
Yeah.
He's explosive. Again, I loved how dramatic it is when he gets his hands on somebody. There's real pop in his hands. And for that reason, like a team that wants to run the ball as much as the Eagles do, sign me up for a player like him.
Other guys available along the offensive line. Demetrius Crownover. I don't think that's going to be them.
I mean, he's got like a little bit of that like Cameron Williams-y vibe, just like a developmental tackle.
I think Pregnon's a possibility.
Could they go Bowery this
Connor
early?
Liu. Could they go Garrett Nussmeier? Could they go Jalen Kilgore?
Jalen Kilgore is an interesting one.
Yeah, brought him in for a pre-draft visit.
Ooh.
Zachy
Cardinals.
Wheatley?
Taking Carson Beck.
Really?
Yeah. So Fran's going to be busy.
Fran is going to be busy.
Does that hurts the case for a Tanner McKee trade?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zachy Wheatley? Nah. CJ Allen still hasn't gone?
No, I thought he did.
Did he go?
I think he did.
No, I thought we thought he was going, but instead they took Jake Golday.
Okay.
CJ Allen has not been picked yet.
Man.
The Eagles could just go back to the Georgia defense well.
For a linebacker. What would Jahad Campbell do if they did that? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Couple players that they've had in on visits who are still available.
Okay.
See who I can go through. Jude Bowery.
Some of the offensive line. Markel Bell, Jude Bowery.
Isaiah World,
and the Memphis guy.
Travis Burke.
Yes.
Deny Dennis Sutton, still out there.
Yep.
Jalen Kilgore.
Yep.
Still out there. Caleb Douglas. I don't know if he's really
late.
a 3rd round
He's
guy.
late,
yeah, but yep, those are the guys who stand out as players they've had in on visits.
CJ Allen was drafted. He was the pick right before Stowers.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Jalen Kilgore, I could see that.
Yeah, I don't. He's
really,
not my favorite, but I don't necessarily trust myself. I mean, Fran is just okay on him, but
really leaning into like the Nicky Manwari comparisons. If you're drafting a guy like Jalen Kilgore,
Carson Beck. What do you think about that?
I don't love Carson Beck. He's not my guy at the quarterback position. So I don't know. If you're the Cardinals and that's what you're hitching your wagon to, I don't love it. Maybe it's a type of move where a year from now you're drafting over him and you feel fine about it because it's only a 3rd round pick you're using. But if I were them, I would have probably been aggressive trying to get Tanner McKee.
Yeah. Hard to argue. Carson Beck, I mean, what are we doing? I like Carson Beck as a backup.
I think like this is straw man, but there were like some faint Jalen Hurts comps.
Yeah.
And I really hate those.
Yeah. All right, let's go to break because this pick could be coming up any minute. We got to get this one in. Join us. 3 picks away now from the Eagles being on the board. Here we go. Tomorrow is the day. Ashley's biggest one-day event is here, and it's happening on Saturday. Starting at 10 a.m., you've got 12 hours to save big on all of Ashley's hottest styles. Take up to 20% off all Ashley furniture or shop now and pay later with Ashley's 60 months no-interest financing, sofas, bedrooms, dining sets, sectionals, and more. Up to 20% off. Don't miss the huge savings this Saturday only at Ashley. Tomorrow is the day. Make it happen. I was talking to Fran about like some potential day 3 quarterback options for the Eagles this year, and he was like, and there's this guy from Iowa, a little bit older. He could be a developmental backup. And I was like, oh, that's true, Mark Gronowski. But that's not the true Mark we're talking about. No, we're talking about True Mark Financial because it's Financial Literacy Month. You need to know that they've got the Greenlight app to help out your kids. And they've also just rolled out their new Momentum Checking, which is built for everyday life. No big balance requirements, no hoops, no confusing tiers. Right now, there's a $250 bonus when you open a new Momentum Checking account and meet the qualifications. More perks, less hassle. That's a win as far as I'm concerned. Check it out at truemark.com or visit one of their 24 local branches. TRUMARK.com. Tell them PHLY sent you. And if you got a kid, get them hooked on that Greenlight savings account, that app. Teach them financial literacy. TrueMark, make it happen. Ashley's biggest one-day sale event is happening this Saturday. Starting at 10 a.m., you've got 12 hours to save big on all of Ashley's hottest styles of the season. Shop Ashley Hot Buys and unwind on the Belcaro Place sofa and sleep in style on the Port-Down Queen bed. Plus, take up to 20% off all Ashley furniture or shop now and pay later with Ashley's 60 months no-interest financing. Don't miss the huge savings starting at 10 a.m. this Saturday during Ashley's 12-hour sale. Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, presented by
The Fanatics app
and Ashley. Live from the Xfinity studio, Bo Wulf and EJ Smith. Fran's talking to the other All-City people. Don't worry about it. He'll be back. Never you bother. Celtics have taken the lead.
Yeah.
Might be pulling away. That's too bad. That's all right. Once we go, it's our fault. Once we started paying attention to it.
Yeah, we gave him too much.
We jinxed
juice.
him a little bit. Yeah. But the Eagles are closing in.
One pick away.
Carson Beck off the board. Has the Broncos pick been made yet at 66? We're 3 picks away, but it's possible we've missed the Broncos.
I think they're getting close.
Well, we're definitely getting close. 66 is on the board. Eagles are at 68. I think they would love to move down. Let's see.
Yeah, I think
the Browns have 2 picks coming up in this little cluster.
It's going to be that anticlimactic trade right as they get on the clock.
I mean, I would love for them to make like 3 trade downs this round so that we can continue having them on the clock, talking about it, and then having them move down.
Good for
That's
content.
good stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Good for content. Browns, you could move down to 74. That's a team that'll probably want to be aggressive for somebody, you'd think.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I made trades with the Packers in my mock draft simulators because they had a good amount of 4th round picks.
Okay.
For whatever that's worth.
The
novice mock draft simulation.
Looks to me like 84 and 120 might get it done with maybe that 7th flipping back to them.
Yeah. I think that's what I did. I think that might have been exactly what I did.
Okay.
Vikings have 97 and 98. Could they want to move up from one of those spots? Eagles probably would want 97.
Your boy
Probably
Tyler
98.
Onyedem, the defensive tackle, goes to the Denver Broncos.
I really liked him.
2
It's
picks
good news
away.
for the Eagles, but I really liked him. All right, so the
What
Eagles
is
are officially
the
one
pick that
away.
would make people the angriest? Nussmeier?
Nussmeier, probably the one that makes them the angriest. Looking through the best available, Ted Hurst would probably upset Eagles fans.
That would be funny, man. If they just go 3 straight. I like Ted Hurst. But
Chris Bell's still out there. Chris Bell. That would probably upset Eagles fans. I would like it.
No,
Be good for
the Eagles
me.
fans love Chris Bell.
Yeah, but now that they've drafted 2 pass
And they
catchers.
finally got the AJ replacement.
Yeah. All right. 3rd time's the charm. We finally got it. Daniel Jeremiah mentioning that Eli Stowers does some of the AJ Brown stuff on NFL Network, by the way. I saw that on my feed.
I think that's a plant.
DJ's really plugged in, so
No
I
doubt
think
about
that is
that.
noteworthy. But yeah, I don't know if I'd make that leap. What you got?
I got nothing. I'm excited. We got AJ Halsey, Jermod McCoy, Malik Muhammad, Jalen Farmer, Emmanuel Pregnon, Caleb Tiernan, Markel Bell, or something crazy.
Something crazy, man.
Cocaine Howie.
If they stick and pick, who are they picking? I think it's Jalen Kilgore if they stick and pick.
I think if they stick and pick, it's Kilgore is a good guess. I think if I had to guess someone else, I would say Markel Bell.
I would say if they need to address offensive line, but I don't know if anybody would be high enough on their board for them to take them here.
All right, sounds like the Raiders have made a pick, which would put the Eagles on the clock. On the clock, presented by
the Fanatics app.
No,
you
Ashley.
You looked at me like it was
on the clock, presented by Ashley. Sorry. That's all right. I'm glad you're on top. We've trained you well. You've worked on it. You've done a good job here. You picked up on the pause. Okay. Who's it gonna be?
I think it's straight out.
I think number one pick is trade out. Kieron Crawford is the player who went off the board to the Raiders, the Auburn edge. I think if they stick and pick, I remain holding some space for Jermod McCoy.
Yeah.
As just we could not pass up this opportunity. Sticking out like a store thumb. A store thumb.
Howie did
those
say
thumbs they
Makai
sell
Lemon,
at stores.
For the record. Oh. Per Zach Berman.
Yeah.
The Eagles are taking Markel Bell.
Markel Bell! The number one overall pick in the Owl You Know draft. You nailed it. Boom! Markel Bell is an Eagle. The massive tackle from the U. Markel Bell. He goes 6'9" and a quarter. 346 pounds. With 36 and 5/8 inch arms. We're at a 5.36. No big deal. This is a monster. A guy for the Eagles to develop who relatively inexperienced, but not a Jordan Mailata inexperience.
Yeah.
Right? Or even a Maxi Hanator inexperience. Looks good. I like this pick.
Yeah, I like it as well. He was somebody that we all felt was a very Eaglesy type player. He is unusual because of the size. Not as much like power at that size as you would expect, but a developmental tackle, somebody that you don't expect to play in year one, but again, gives you another pathway toward at least having a Fred Johnson replacement over time, or the high range outcome would be your right tackle of the future. But I like the thing about drafting a tackle at this point in the draft that I like is it doesn't preclude you from going back next year and finding your Lane Johnson successor, your right tackle of the
Correct.
future. But again, it gives you another bite at the apple and an interesting one because he is unusual, as Jeff Stoutland would put it.
The scouting report from the Die Hard Draft Guide, according to our man Fran Duffy. 1-year starter at left tackle for the Hurricanes is a big, brawling blindside protector who wins with sheer mass and length. He won't wow you with his pure explosiveness, but he's got light feet and better change of direction than most his size. At the end of the day, he's just tough to get around in pass protection, and he knows it. He plays to his strengths well in that phase. In the run game, he can struggle winning the leverage battle at times and can certainly improve with his hands. Overall, I see a functional NFL player with eventual starting upside after further development. He's a big, reliable pass protector, and while not the rangiest athlete, is very capable of turning edge defenders out and winning his gap more often than not. I see a solid swing back up by year 2 with the ability to be more by the end of his rookie deal.
Yeah, sounds like an ideal Fred Johnson successor in the short term, and again, a player that could develop into a starter. I should note that he has only played left tackle in his career, or he's basically only played left tackle in his career. And another fun note from Fran's draft guide would be the tallest offensive tackle drafted in the last decade.
Oh man, Lindsay, we gotta get social to clip the first pick from the All You Know draft.
Oh,
Because who knows ball? I mean, what?
We also have a great clip of you saying who is the most Eagles pick in this draft.
That's right.
On count.
That's
count,
right.
On count of
absolutely
three,
right.
that's all
We already have that clip, right?
We
That
all
was
said
already tweeted
Markel
out.
Bell. Yeah.
Oh.
So I was rolling my eyes like you could be about the team.
That's
here.
true. No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Obviously, we should do both.
Yeah.
But
we coined this guy. We coined it. The most Eagles player in the draft.
I think we said we were talking about tackle.
Okay, most Eagles tackle in the draft. Unusual.
We got to find that. That's very good.
One thing I really like about the Markel Bell pick is like, oh, it's a new system. You can have a tackle with more movement skills, and that might be the tiebreaker. And it's like we could tell just from the pre-draft visit guys they brought in. It's like no, they still want massive, mammoth offensive tackles, and they got one in Markel Bell. And I think it's gonna be fun to watch him. He's gonna be another one that's really fun to watch in camp.
Yeah,
like they are getting some guys that just are gonna pop out the second you walk down to the field.
Markel Bell, baby. Said it on the show last night that since what's his face is the one who broke the pick.
Yeah,
he used to talk about
Zach
calling the Morgan Moses, Eugene Monroe. Virginia tackles. Eugene Monroe goes top 10. Morgan Moses goes later, and he thought that Morgan Moses was going to have a longer career. I like Francis Maui Noah. I think it's possible. That we have a Markel Bell, Francis Maui Noah situation with Eugene Monroe.
Okay.
Throw it out there.
I like Maui Noah. I think maybe Markel Bell will have more career starts at tackle than Francis Maui Noah. I think that one, I can get behind that take.
What a call.
It's a fun pick. Now, another ripple effect we should discuss. We thought they were going to trade out of this pick.
Yeah.
Now, as a result of not trading out of this pick, it's going to be hard for them to recoup assets on day 3. Like you're probably trading out of the 5th round. So right now,
be able to.
Right now they have 3 picks remaining: number 178, 197, and 244. Which brings me to a question that I have for you.
Okay.
Do you make that draft pick? You decide not to trade out, knowing that you have a player that's going to get you some draft compensation between now and let's say the start of day 3. Is there an Eagles trade that we are expecting to help them flush out their day 3?
You mean a player?
Yeah, I think that Keely Ringo is probably the one that we'd point to.
I think it's possible.
Are you planning on getting a 5th round pick for Keely Ringo that can help you again have some because Howie always talks about he doesn't like sitting around and waiting during the draft. He doesn't like a long stretch going without a pick. And the Eagles currently have a 110 pick gap between the pick they just made and the pick they have back.
He's going to have to go for a walk.
A long walk. He's going to be going for walks around the field with Makai Lemon.
You're right. But the problem is I don't think there's anybody they could trade that would give them a 4th round pick.
Yeah, I don't think they can get a 4. Could you do like could you do Ringo and a 6th to move up and then try and move back from there?
Yeah.
I'm sure these are the conversations they're having.
Really, really antsy. It's more likely that they would do what they did with Ringo, and that is knowing that you're going to be getting A.J. Brown picks, trade next year's 4th for a 4th this year or something like that.
Next year's 3rd?
Yeah, I think that, but that's one of 2. I think if they were going to do that, I think that's more likely.
Yeah, I would have a hard time giving up future picks to get back into this year's draft, given the strength of the class. But again, a 110 pick gap, it's literally 110 picks. I think Howie Roseman is going to get antsy.
3, 2. Markel Bell, by the way, will only be 22 as a return. He's 21 now. He turns 22 in July. Part of the reason that I also believe in the upside is the tools in his body, the runway here. Oh yeah, here he is, the Duff Man. Who called it? Woo! I think that's the. I took him with the 1st overall pick.
You did take him with the 1st pick. But do you remember when Bo said, "Who's the most Eagles tackle?"
Yeah, we all said it. Yeah.
Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Markel.
We all did. Yeah, that's a great clip.
So you got to listen to the show.
Oh, we got it. Flash that bad boy up. 3, 2, 1.
Markel Bell.
That's really funny. That's very funny.
We got to get that out there. That's a YouTube clip. That is
that's phenomenal.
Fantastic. Oh man,
what a flurry of action here.
Yeah, you've been all over the place.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Well, let's get your thoughts.
I'm gonna have to jet because Eli Stowers is gonna have a video conference soon.
Okay.
So I'm going to concede the floor to Fran soon.
Okay.
That's all
Do you
I'm
have
saying.
another one you got to hop out for soon?
I'm okay right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. Chicago just took Sam Roush,
Oh.
but I can wait a little bit. Yeah.
Is he going?
They said soon.
Okay.
Mm.
Why don't you wait until it's actually going and then
Okay.
pop out then?
Yeah, fine.
Let's get your thoughts, Fran.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a reason why we all thought that he was a very Eagles type of pick. I'm gonna be honest. Watching Markel Bell so I had not studied him before the Senior Bowl. He was a late add to the Senior Bowl. So I knew of him. He was a first-year starter, so I didn't watch him over the summer. I knew he was a really big tackle. He's playing on the left side opposite Francis Mauigoa. They go to the national championship game. He's a late addition to the Senior Bowl. My first exposure to him was the first day of Senior Bowl practice, very first rep of pass rush one-on-ones, and it won't take you long to find it. If you search Markel Bell Senior Bowl, he gets embarrassed on the first play of the one-on-one drill. Derek Moore, who the Lions traded up for in the second round, he goes straight, like speed to power, puts his foot in the ground, and just goes right through Bell's chest, caught him off guard, and put him on the ground. And I'm like, oh, that's an ugly rep. And you've seen big tackles like that before, right? Where it's like, doesn't have great balance and body control. Like maybe he's stressed getting to the corner. From that point on, he was awesome the rest of the week. Okay. And that was, by the way, like days after the national championship game, like 10 days after the national title game. All these other guys had weeks in terms of prep time. Markel Bell began 2 years at junior college, goes to Miami, is back up as in 2024, starts last year, goes to the Senior Bowl, was good down there. I watch him on film after, and I'm expecting because of his size, a little bit of a sloppy athlete, liability in pass protection. This guy's got really good body control. He's really well coordinated. The length he maximizes to the nth degree. He's able to get on top of guys and drive them off the ball in the run game. He just hasn't played a lot of ball. At the end of the day, that's why he goes in the third round. But this is a player that you can get excited about. You can definitely dream on a player like Markel Bell. You talked about my Eagles, my player comp for him.
Yeah, we haven't brought that up yet. It's King Dunlap.
King Dunlap, former Eagles tackle, King Dunlap.
Heavier though.
Yeah, but I mean,
thicker.
They just these guys now are just specimens. They're just in terms of like how guys are built. But he's a phenomenal upside swing, and I think honestly, like third round. When I was watching, when I studied him, I was like, yeah, like third round, fourth round. That's where this guy's gonna go.
I like Markel Bell.
I like it too.
I really like the mental toughness required to have that ugly rep at the beginning of Senior Bowl week and to bounce back. I think that is a great story.
Now, how do you feel, Fran, about the Eagles now staring at 110 picks without a pick?
110 picks. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because they didn't move back.
So let's say,
move back. Yeah. I mean, kind of knew this was a possibility. We thought it was more likely that they would trade out. But if that's what it took to get Markel Bell.
Oh, do you need to leave?
Yeah, I was just about to tell
right,
you.
You got to go.
Yeah. All right. Got to get to Nick and Howie.
They're going to do Nick and Howie soon.
All right. So, get out of here.
EJ's going to bounce. Or, I mean, that's what you want to do, or do you want to stay for the show?
That would make more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. See you guys.
All right.
See you, Jay.
Good to see you. Do you think the absence of Jeff Stoutland makes you feel differently about this?
No, I think I'm in the same boat. Like, you feel better about it.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, you put faith in your player development team. That group that's led by Connor Barwin. It's not just Barwin; it's a handful of people working with him, alongside him. Get this kid into the building, let him develop. And now, can he play right tackle? Is he a left tackle only? If Lane Johnson retires next year, does Mailata move over to the right side? I think that's something that obviously they probably had these conversations already and trying to see what the long-term plan would be for a guy like Markel Bell.
In the subsequent picks, Bears taking Sam Roush, you said.
Yep.
Niners taking Romello Height.
Niners took Height. Okay.
Any interest in those picks?
I mean, Height makes sense. He's definitely he's a 49ers
Slide
type
over
pick
here.
in terms of the profile. Which way am I coming to you?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The Carson Beck pick going to Arizona. Saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do they feel about that?
I actually didn't get a chance because I was able to break that pick. I got wind of that one ahead of time. I was trying to jump on right away, but those guys were, and then okay. Fuck. So I was able. You know what happened? So I finished with where was that I talked with right away? Was that Chicago I jumped on with? Yeah, I think it was Logan Jones. So I did Chicago hit with Logan Jones. And then I was like, oh, there's a bunch of these teams coming up. I'll just hang out rather than like pop in, pop out, pop in, pop out. Like, all right, let me hang out.
Pizza?
Got some more. Yeah, got a couple slices of pizza. And then.
Must be nice.
Well, sorry. You asked. But yeah, it was a flurry of action there. And then I was on with Denver talking through some Tyler Onyedum.
Yeah.
When I hear the screaming and I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? And I saw the text of Markel Bell go across my screen.
Good stuff.
Good pick. I like the Markel Bell pick.
Whatever happens after this, it's going to be dice rolls.
Yeah.
It's fair to say, like, you can evaluate the draft class now.
Right.
Lemon, Stowers, Bell.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel?
I would grade. So if I'm going like purely off process and like likelihood of outcomes and all that stuff, I would grade Lemon an A. I struggle with the Stowers one. Are we including the trade for Greenard in there? Separate deal?
I think we should because it is a pick from this year.
Right. I'd give that like a B.
Just
because I mean it's a lot of money for an aging player. And then I mean the Markel Bell swing, I'd put that like B plus A.
Okay.
Stowers like a D. Yeah, I'm not as high on that as others.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. What do you think? That's like a solid B? B minus?
I think if you get an A in the first round,
yeah,
you got to weight it up a little bit.
Yeah, but like a D in the second round is like
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. All right. We got to take a break, reset a little bit, figure out what we're doing. Stay with us. Much more to come on the PHLY Eagles Draft Show, presented by
Fanatics app
and Ashley. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi, and what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 whole years? That is the Xfinity's 5-year price guarantee. So much can change in 5 years. Makai Lemon, drafted last night. 5 years from now, he's going to be coming off the final year of his rookie deal. Who knows what kind of career he's going to have? You're probably going to be following that career on Xfinity Wi-Fi the whole time. Because what does Xfinity bring? All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense that lets you stream the game even when the whole family is online. So lock in your price today and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Tell them PHLY sent you. Lock in those 5 years. Eagles drafted someone they hope is a game changer last night in Makai Lemon. And you know what you can do this weekend? How about you draft a game changer for your mouth? Okay? Let's get a little Gelati Sunday going with Rita's, because it is a game changer and it is officially arrived. And yeah, this thing is delicious. Why settle for one flavor when you can have everything? With the Rita's Gelati Sunday, you're getting layers of their classic Italian ice, that rich, creamy frozen custard, and then topping it off with, well, whatever you're in the mood for. Full customization, mix, match, build your own masterpiece. Every cup is different and every combo hits. So if you've been looking for an excuse to hit Rita's, this is it. Stop by your local Rita's today and build your own Gelati Sunday exactly how you want it. And don't forget to download the Rita's app, because you can find your nearest location, order ahead, and when you sign up, you'll get a free small ice plus earn rewards all season long. Treat yourself to a scoop of happiness today. Be cool. Go to Rita's. Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast. What a night. Eli Stowers, Markel Bell, and Jonathan Greenard. And maybe we haven't spent enough time on Greenard, given the fact that he's the one who's likely to make the biggest impact this season. You want to talk about the value first or the player? I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, but we should spend some more time.
Let's talk about the value a little bit.
Okay. Process-wise, rebounding from not being able to sign Jalen Phillips because he signs this monster deal, then trading 2/3 for Greenard and giving him what's a little bit less money, and only 2 years of guarantees, which is a factor.
Yep.
How do you feel about the way they went about that?
I mean, it comes to, because what was the final APY on
Phillips, 30.
Phillips? It was 30. So you're talking $10 million less. Well, $5 million
per year.
$5 per
Yeah.
year. Yeah, sorry. I mean, you're still like, while he's been a productive player, you know, Odafe Owe just got 25 mil, so you're right in line there with what Owe got on the free agent market. But like Nick Bonito, who was like a defensive player of the year candidate, like it's just south of that, right? Like, and so that's the territory that we're in right now. It's a lot of money for a player who's again, he's a good player.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the going rate, and that's kind of what I was saying. Where, like, all right, well, if Crosby is at, where's Crosby? Crosby is, I mean, I guess significantly more. He's at 35.5.
Yeah.
But still, to me, I look at it and I say, like, all right, you're right in that in between of, he's not quite that upper echelon, like upper crust of pass rusher. But he's a really good player, But giving up that with the 2 picks with that money it's a big investment.
And it's interesting considering all the guys that they're going to have to pay on defense.
Yeah.
Howie has talked about juggling that in the past of, you know, importing guys versus paying guys. What are those dynamics like in the locker room? It's different when it is a fully guy from the outside. And it sounds like it's only, I mean, it's 2 years of guarantee.
2-year guarantee, because that would mean that, like, when Jalen Carter's extension were to kick in, it wouldn't be until even after that would end.
But now is when the Eagles have to decide on Nolan Smith's 5th-year option.
Yes.
I would imagine they'll pick that up.
I would think so.
And then next year, you're talking about extending Jalix Hunt.
Right.
It's a lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah. Because they also have Cooper.
The defensive line is stacked.
Yeah. It's a good group. It's a good defense.
Yeah.
I look, it's a good player. You know, they're as good as anybody in terms of balancing the checkbook and just making sure that they can get it all done. But and we know how they feel big picture about making sure that the trenches are right. So I think at the end of the day, like, that's why I'm not like over the moon on it, but I don't think it's a bad move by any stretch.
Yeah. Make sure you're hitting the like button in the chat, please. A couple more picks to get your thoughts on.
Yeah.
The Commanders taking Antonio Williams, the wide receiver from Clemson. Washington's Taco Davis, the long, fast corner, goes to Cincinnati. And then Oscar Delp finally goes to the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, this is honestly the whole thing about the Eagles not having a pick for 100 plus. Now there's going to be a lot of good players coming off the board, and so, like, all right, Delp goes. Like,
well, it's like when we talk about throughout the process, this is not a good draft.
Yeah,
this is where it's kind of fun.
This
is where there's a plateau and there's a bunch of guys. You know, it's too bad.
Yeah, Antonio Williams fitting in Washington. You know, he's not flashy. He's not a 4-3 guy. He's not the biggest and strongest. He's kind of like a lowercase Makai Lemon. I think in terms of just like he's just a solid all around player. He's not dynamic, but good catcher of the football, pretty good route runner, can do a little bit of everything, but just not going to blow you away as a physical specimen.
Okay. Yep.
Fine addition to that receiving room.
And then Malachi Fields goes off the board to the Giants.
Yeah. Fields. Yeah, I've been hearing about this kid since his freshman year at Virginia. Really tall, really big. You know, think like Johnny Wilson type of size and physical profile. At Virginia, he was a high school quarterback, so made the move to wide receiver when he got to college and played right away and produced right away. All his teammates saw, like, this guy's going to be an NFL player in a few years. He ends up transferring to Notre Dame this past year, where he was all outside the numbers, vertical threat, which he's not really that. Like, he's not really like deep speed down the field. You know, they used him that way at Notre Dame, but he is more your big body, let him win like underneath, shallow crosses, quick slants, let him throw him back shoulders. He's not like a vertical threat, but I like him as a blocker. I think that he would be like a Nick Sirianni type. You know, if you like Johnny Wilson in the 5th round, you're gonna like Malachi Fields in the 3rd. So I think he's an upscale version of that player.
Okay. We got some more picks from people's watch parties.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Love these. Ooh, this is a good one. We got Paul George there, and then we got us.
Sixers
up top there.
Sixers pulled within 1.
They lost.
Did they lose?
Yeah, they lost. They lost by 8.
Missed that.
Oh, mid ad read we got. Fran.
There you go.
Shout out to
The Fanatic Sports app.
Nice, good job, and Ashley as well. Oh, here's a good triple. That's a nice one.
That's a good one. Okay. Right choice on the big monitor there.
Yeah, absolutely. And and the NFL Network there. Okay,
That's right.
I like that.
Okay,
Good stuff.
nice. Were you pre-working in the business, and we'll say in your year off, were you ESPN or NFL Network for the draft?
NFL Network. I mean, growing up, ESPN.
Well, you had to be, yeah.
I think one far surpassed the other.
Yeah,
eventually.
I will say, it was nice to dive into the ESPN broadcast, because I became, it was more NFL Network.
I missed the jingle. I like the ESPN jingle.
The nostalgia of it.
Yeah, but they're not.
No,
Night one, you could do it,
right?
but once it gets after that, they're not covering the draft anymore.
Right.
They're doing nonsense.
Yeah.
So the reason that EJ jetted out is because the Eagles are done with picks. Howie and Nick are going to be talking to the media pretty soon. Which I think means we should probably end the show.
And if you like.
What do you think, Lindsay? I think that's probably the move because you're going to have to hop off anyway.
I'm going to be jumping off, yep.
Pretty soon.
Yep.
This way we can all sit and watch Nick and Howie.
Yep.
Stay tuned, though. We're going to have more content coming your way. When we wrap here, Fran and I will do another video like we did last night talking about the players to potentially watch on day 3. And we'll have to start the 5th round. But some guys who could potentially make sense. We'll recap everything we saw tonight. Big night for the Eagles.
Huge night.
The biggest night of the offseason.
Yeah.
This is it.
Big one. For now.
Eli. A big night for the Eagles and a big night for everybody at Big Brothers Big Sisters because we got the big draft. I think we had a very generous donation earlier.
$50.
Thank you for that. We really appreciate that. Check out that QR code if you have it in you. Think about becoming a big. You really make a difference in somebody's life, people's lives. Deontay, good to see you in the chat.
Oh,
fantastic. Just got off the practice field, I believe.
That's right.
All right. That'll do it for night 2 of the PHLY Eagles Draft Show. We are live tomorrow. The Eagles don't start until the 5th round. Who cares? We're starting at noon, right when the 4th round starts. Don't miss it. We're going to be here all afternoon. Fran's going to be just a machine. What a joy to just get to watch you work this week.
Wow. Stop it.
Okay. We're going to be live tomorrow at noon. The whole time. Stay with us. By the way, did you know you are gone when we learned this? The Greenard trade. Eagles got a 7th back this year.
For this year?
For this year.
Oh, man, that ruined DJ's night.
Yeah, baby. So we got 3 picks on the board.
Beautiful. Man, I wish I could have been here for EJ to see that.
I know. Very exciting stuff. Plenty of picks left here. So, maybe Fran will tweet about it or something if there's something that you really like.
Yeah.
Good to see. Thanks everybody for being with us throughout the show so far. Gonna close it. We'll talk to you tomorrow at noon for all of us here. Also, you can check out the PHLY Sixers show right now.
Right now, yeah.
Check out that post-game show if you want. We will talk to you tomorrow at noon. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, EJ. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And as always, thank you, Fran, and we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.